11 a.m., where we discuss the latest trends, hottest products, and deliver exclusive interviews with other industry leaders. And don't forget to visit our shop, True Sports Cards, at 6661 Stanford Ranch Road in Rockland and see what we have for all your sports card and memorabilia needs.
I remember as if it were yesterday. I reached down to move a nightstand and was astonished at the weight of the piece. Hi, this is Frank LaRosa with a word about Naturewood Home Furnishings. At that moment, I instantly recognized the difference between Naturewood's quality furniture that will last a lifetime versus lesser quality furniture found elsewhere. Now, I suppose there's a huge difference in what you would put in your first apartment and what you would live with in the comfort of your own home. Right now, Naturewood Home Furnishings Made in USA sale is a great time to fill your home with solid, superior quality furniture to reflect your own love for life. With brands like Sam Moore, Stanton, Stickley, Hilltop Hickory, Simply Amish, and many more, Naturewood Home Furnishings has tables, chairs, couches, and, yes, nightstands, and more at their Made in USA sale. Find furniture that will be with you forever. Naturewood Home Furnishings, off Highway 50 at Hazel. Look for the water wheel.
KHTK HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, Sacktown Sports 1140. Feeding your passion for local sports in the afternoon. It's the Drive Guys with Kevin Gleason and Kyle Draper on your radio at 1140 a.m.
Streaming audio at SacktownSports.com and the Sacktown Sports app.
You can also watch the show on YouTube at Sacktown Sports 1140. Here are the Drive Guys with Kevin Gleason and Kyle Draper.
Yeah, how about it? Drive Guys reunited today, just not yet. Drape's on his way. How about that, Jay? The dramatic entrance, Mr. Draper, a week off, and then, yeah, a few minutes out. I'll be right there. That's how he rolls.
That's how he doing it?
Yeah. How are you, Jay?
No clue.
Yeah.
I was looking up and I was like, oh, I don't see him. And then now that you say that, I feel my phone vibrating, but I hadn't checked it. So
yeah, he'll be here probably before I finish this sentence. Nope, not quite.
Try to drag it out. I see you working.
Big basketball weekend. Of course, we got a lot of Kings. I don't know what's to talk about. Rumors, speculation. We'll talk about all of it, of course. It's been a big NBA playoffs for comebacks. Speaking of comebacks, Jay, before we get to basketball, you know who came back this weekend? The movies. It was the biggest Memorial Day weekend ever at the movies.
Really?
Which I mentioned only because I played a huge role in that. Saw 2 movies this weekend.
You went to the movies?
Having not gone to the movies in
20 years.
Well, whatever
10.
COVID was, it's been a long time.
So COVID was your last stop at the theater,
I think it was
the cinema.
late COVID,
as they say.
Yeah,
the cinema.
So went Friday and saw Mission Impossible: Final Reckoning.
Would you like? You like it?
It was good. It was good.
Are you a MI guy anyway?
Well, I wouldn't say so, but
Okay.
then when I look at it, I've seen them all. So
Then you're a guy.
yeah,
I've seen all of them. I like them. There's some outlandish scenes, of course,
Right.
getting blown up, blasted to the helicopter in the tunnel and stuff like that. But I like them.
Yeah,
I have to go
it
see
was
it.
fun. It was a lot of fun. And then Sunday was my nephew's birthday.
Okay.
And we're visiting him in Pacifica, and everyone's just kind of, there's a nice lunch and everything. And everyone's sitting around and go, hey, you want to go to the movies for your birthday? He's like, yeah, okay. What do you want to go see? I want to go see Lilo and Stitch. So we got everybody, including my mother-in-law, who's like 90, who's been to the movies 3 times in her whole life. She's like, all right, I'll go. And she said Lilo and Stitch was the best movie she's ever seen in a theater of the 4 she's seen.
What was the other 2? Do we know?
There was a kung fu movie that she said her husband, my late father-in-law, insisted that she attend.
Okay.
There was some international film about families and mothers that we took her to once on Mother's Day.
Okay.
And she said she went to a religious film with a friend of hers. But she said, this was the best movie I've seen, Lilo and Stitch.
Ooh.
So, yeah.
Where you ranking it? Give me a number. Rotten Tomato style. IMDb.
It was fun. It was a fun movie.
All right.
Yeah. Zach Galifianakis was in it, so that was kind of funny.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, it was the biggest box office Memorial Day weekend ever. So maybe people are going to go back to the movies this week.
And the Gleason family dropping that coin.
Yes, we were leading the charge without
trying
question.
to get the moolah.
That's what I'm talking about. All right.
Yeah.
Dope little situation for you.
It was nice. It was fun.
You go to the movies for the first time in 5 years, 4 or 5 years, and then you double up.
Double up. Yeah. Take everybody.
That boy.
Yeah. Did you watch any basketball this weekend? Basketball
Here and
was-
there. You know, I mean, I watched the fourth quarters for the most part of all the games.
Mhm.
Beside the OKC, the Minnesota blowout, I didn't watch that. It was over at my uncle's house eating on good barbecue and all that good jazz.
yeah.
But looked up a couple times. Oh, they getting smoked, man. I'm back outside. Let's
Mhm.
move on.
Getting smoked like the ribs out there.
Like
but they
brisket.
bounced back last night with a big win, and Ant is under the spotlight now. You know, he didn't play especially well last night, and so people are asking him after the game, why did you struggle? He says, I didn't struggle, but OKC wins a thriller 128-126, so the Thunder now on the verge of eliminating the Minnesota Timberwolves, Jay. Of course, tonight we've got your Knicks trying to even the series against the Pacers after a stunning comeback win of their own a couple nights ago.
Yeah, it looked like they were on the outside looking in for a good
Yes.
minute after the first two games of the series. Of course, game one, we talked about it. And as I said, we will have a conversation. It feels like game one was 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And I
what
say
you
that
mean.
again because look what the Knicks do. Now they came back. They were down 20 throughout the game, 10 heading into the fourth quarter. And Cat went on a blistering pace, you know, a couple of threes and a bucket. And he brought them close, and then they just overtook Will Brunson in the back end. But, you know, the one thing about the Knicks, and we've talked about this, it really depends on if their body is going to hold up. You know, Tibbs will run you through the wall 10 times. For whatever reason, he just doesn't trust the back end of his bench, and, you know, he's going to run those starters. Basically, he's playing 6-7 guys now that Mitchell Robinson's back. He's playing 6-7 guys 30-plus minutes for the most part. That's tough.
Yep.
It's tough.
He stretched it out a little bit in the last
A
game.
bit,
I think they
yep.
played 9, just barely. But you're right. And Indiana, as we've discussed, is pretty well equipped to take advantage of that. But now the Pacers are the team that's hobbling because Aaron Nesmith, who's been phenomenal, he turns his ankle. And, you know, it's the playoffs. So everyone says, oh, he'll be ready to go. You got to want it this time of year. But, you know, Jay, playing basketball on a badly sprained ankle, I know they get care that we could barely imagine, but it's hard to do at a high level. So,
Oh, yeah,
we'll
for
see.
sure.
He's game time decision. And if he doesn't play or if he's compromised, all of a sudden the Knicks could be in position to regain home court disadvantage, since the last thing you want to be doing in this series apparently is playing at home.
Seems that way, right?
Yeah.
Man, the Pacers had
That's crazy.
everything they needed in front of them, and they choked it off.
Yeah.
Just like the Knicks did in game one.
Mhm.
It wasn't as bad because it wasn't a short time, but they choked off a great opportunity. And believe me, and why do you know this? If they lose this series, they're probably looking back at game 3.
Mm-hmm.
How we let that one go?
Sure.
Jump up 3-0 lead, put the big boot on the neck. We had an opportunity and they let it slip away.
Yeah. So if the Knicks win tonight, technically it's even, but obviously the Knicks would have an advantage, having come from down 2-0 after losing 2 at home. If they win tonight, then they have a big advantage, even though it's all even in terms of the games.
Absolutely. And sliding back to the MSG where the star-studded folks are, you know, you would have to think if you are a Knick or a Knick fan, you pull even at 2-2 after game 1, we're right back in it.
Mhm.
I mean, even though, you know, 2-2 tells you you're right back in it, but the feeling after game 1, there were a lot of people looking around. And when they lost game 2, there were even more people looking around. And they were looking down, not looking up. And they were, you know, Knicks fans were almost out of it. They really were.
Yeah, and who could blame them? The one thing that impressed me about the game last night, as far as OKC is concerned, the way people have been talking about the Thunder and how, well, you know, they don't have that lot of postseason experience, which technically has been true, and I think that showed in game 1 against Denver. But last night, down the stretch, I mean, they barely hung on, but they executed, Jay. And to me, that's a team that is showing, all right, we haven't done it before this, but we're doing it now, and it's not too much for us. I know once you get to the finals, if you do, it's a different animal altogether. But they played with a lot of poise down the stretch last night. I thought that was very impressive in a hostile environment.
Yeah, no doubt
Good
about
team.
it. They're learning on the fly.
Mm-hmm. But
And-
they're learning.
But they are, yeah. And you talked about that, I believe, last week or 2 weeks ago with Drapes. I will say this, Whitey. They look just more talented than anybody left in the playoffs. When you look at the Williams brothers, even though they're not brothers, you look at the Williams brothers, you look at Chet, you look at SGA. I mean, they just have Hartenstein. I mean, they have some quality ball players.
Mm-hmm.
And you really look at the rest of, like the Knicks, they're 5 or 6, if you include Josh Hart, Mitchell Robinson. They look great on paper. But Josh hasn't been playing his best, even as Tibbs to move him to the bench, which looked like a good deal.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be honest, no disrespect to Landry Shamet, DeLon Wright, but those dudes aren't Isaiah Joe and, guys like that.
That's former King DeLon Wright.
Well, yeah. He could have stayed here, couldn't he? What happened? No, I think he got traded, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
But they look better than everybody else right now.
Yeah, I think if you're Minnesota and you look at the way they went down last night with, McDaniels had a big game, and Nickeil Alexander-Walker had a big game, and DiVincenzo shot the ball well, and you got so little out of Julius Randle, 1 for 7, you lose by 2, and Ant only scored 16. That one's got to hurt, because if those guys are halfway decent, you win that game, Jay. That one's got to hurt for the Minnesota team.
Yeah, well.
You lose by 2 and Randall was 1 for 7.
Yeah, I got you. But, stars have bad games, too. I get it. We don't want to give them the pass, but they should get a pass here and there. It was just a good game. I said, you really sit down and look at the roster, OKC's just head and shoulders above everybody else. And it's as much as, we still got 4 teams in the running. It's really their championship to lose for me. As much as I took the Knicks, I think the Knicks still going to win the championship, but you just look at the roster that they're putting out, man. It's hard to deal with. First team, Lou Dort.
Yeah.
All defensive. Williams.
Yeah.
The Williams trio. They got 3 Williams. Them boys are over there balling.
And look who we got back from
Who was
Palm
this?
Springs.
Oh,
shoot. Draper is back.
Fellas.
What's up, Drapes? Welcome home.
It was hard walking in.
Yeah.
It was hard. Dude, when I said 5 minutes away, I was in the parking lot for 10 minutes just sitting there like one of those like, do I need to do this? Do I really want to? But then I missed you guys so much. I was like, dang, I haven't talked to Jay, Whitey. I'm sure I missed tons of sports news over the last week and everything.
I know you're worried about that.
Yeah. I was like, darn, let me come on in. So I got 3 hours and 50 minutes today. Not 4. I couldn't do the full 4 today.
Okay. Right,
3 hours and 50 I could do.
Smart man.
So I'm guessing you played a little golf, given that there's not a lot else to be there.
What do you mean? Dude, I had the most amazing time.
Good.
I partied with celebrities. I have to tell you about that.
Aren't you one?
I am one.
Are they going back telling their friends that they party with you?
Some people are.
Not a boy.
But these are A-list celebrities.
Ooh.
Top notch.
Like you.
Cedric the Entertainer.
Say it.
Anthony Anderson.
That's out.
Alonzo Moore. Like, these are like, so I have to tell that story coming up in just a little bit. Golf pretty much every day, laid out at the pool every day, swam every day, partied at night. I mean, I took in the full Palm Springs experience.
But you're glad to be back. Right?
I will say this. It was so great thinking about looking into buying a house there. All right. We got to go to break.
All right. We'll be right back with more on that. Will the Knicks regain home court disadvantage tonight? Also, we've got to get Drape's thoughts on what's going on with the Kings and find out more about his vacation. We'll do all that and more next. Sacktown Sports.
Alan Stiles here with your Sacktown Sports injury update, brought to you by Downtown LA Law Group. Gio Urshela was replaced on defense due to a hamstring injury. He will be placed on the 15-day injured list with no timetable to return. JT Ginn, out with that strained right quad, felt discomfort in that area, and the team is hopeful he can keep his arm in shape while the injury heals. There also is no timeline for his return. This injury update was brought to you by Downtown LA Law Group. Hey, I'm Alan Stiles. Have an injury? Call Downtown. Downtown LA Law Group, an injury law firm, has many happy clients in Sacramento and the surrounding areas who have called Downtown. Get paid for your injuries from slip and falls or auto accidents. One of their most recent settlements was $1.5 million for a motorcycle accident. Have you had an auto accident? Call Downtown. Text injury help to 40222. That's injury help to 40222 and visit them at calldowntown.com.
Patrick was way behind on his IRS taxes.
I was in way over my head. The total amount ended up being somewhere just over $30,000. $30,000.
Then the IRS came to collect.
Started getting letter after letter. A lien had been filed against me. They were going to basically like hang me completely out to dry.
He had to do something.
That's when I reached out to Optima Tax Relief.
Patrick's life quickly got a lot easier.
It was very easy, pretty much hands off. They picked up the ball and ran with it.
And how'd it go?
I couldn't believe it. I had to ask like 2 or 3 times. I saved an incredible amount of money.
How does Patrick feel about Optima?
Couldn't be happier. They definitely helped me. Optima Tax Relief, the best place to call. They're the best in the business.
Do what Patrick did and call Optima Tax Relief for a free consultation. Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Broadcasting live from Doka. Your afternoon home for Kings talk and so much more. The Drive Guys on Sacktown Sports.
Is that Dean Martin? Yeah. Aren't all the streets in Palm Springs are named after Dean Martin and Dinah Shore?
Oh, yeah. You got Frank Sinatra, Bob Hope. Oh, yeah. I hung out on all of them, too. I saw them all. Yeah. It was a good time down there.
A lot of street market walking, huh?
Yeah, it was great. Let me just say, and we ain't going to talk about Drape's vacation, for the full 4 hours because some things got to be private. You know what I mean? When the guy's out of town, some things got to stay private. But I will say, I get there on Sunday. Flight lands at about 11:30, something like that. Got a 2:00 tea time. I get a call at about 12:30. Hey, you want to go to this party tonight? I'm like, I don't have no clothes. I don't have an outfit. They're like, it's Anthony Anderson's celebrity golf party. I'm like, intrigued at this point. But I got a tea time. It starts at 6.
Right.
But I got a tea time, Whitey. Anthony Anderson, Cedric the Entertainer, Jrue was out there crooning.
It's a tough call.
I know. So I run out, go buy an outfit because it's, you got to dress up a little bit. Tea time is at 2. I golf till 6. I get to the party at 7. All the celebs are there, including Mike Woodson.
Woody.
Tell a boy.
Yeah, Mike Woodson. I'm like, I got to go meet Mike Woodson. We're co-workers now.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I go up to Mike, talk to him a little bit, exchange numbers. I just hit him up about half an hour ago, as a matter of fact. And we'll get Mike Woodson on the show here in the next week or two. And so it was a reason, Whitey, why I went to Palm Springs. There was a reason, Jay, why I was invited to this party. It was to get in with our guy, Mike Woodson. And so he's our guy now.
You call it what you want, but I'm going to call it you want to have a good time.
Oh, all right, that too. And then Jay sends out a text message of our guest for this week. My boy Eddie Johnson was down there at the party also. Chopped it up. And so I got to ask him about the party the other night. So good time, though. Happy to be back. Actually, I'm not. Let me no, I don't want to lie. Yeah, I had a great time down there in Palm Springs, Whitey.
Yeah, look at all the
people missed me.
A couple, 3, at least 3. There's probably more.
Well, you and Jay makes 5, right?
Yeah.
What they say? What
just saying? Welcome back part time. Welcome back, Draper. Draper, all caps. Draper, good to have you back from Canada.
Man, I tell you what. And the house I was staying at, fellas, nice house, had the pool out back overlooking the golf course. Guy was like, there's nobody staying in the house. The next week, you could stay if you want. You could stay. And I thought about it.
Yeah.
I was about to text Jose. Hey, man, can I do the show from Palm Springs? I was going to have the kids mail me down the equipment.
I think I would have done that.
Nah, but then I got 2 kids. I couldn't go on. If I didn't have those kids, I'd be doing the show from
Palm Springs.
They got school. School's out on Thursday.
They're going to learn more at Palm Springs with Dad.
They would.
And they're going to learn at school.
That is 100% true. More memories will be made hanging with Dad. But they got to go to school till Thursday. If this was next week, they would have been down. But I'm back now. So I'm locked in. Let's go.
And your golf game's locked in? You bring back?
We'll see. Yeah. We'll see. I took lessons Thursday and Friday. played Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Hit balls Wednesday. Lesson Thursday. Lesson Friday. Played Saturday. So your boy was dialed in all week.
Yeah. Indian Wells, huh?
Yeah, I did go to Indian Wells.
Oh,
yeah, nice
Figured
track.
you would.
Yep, nice track. Had a good time out there, man. So, yeah, man, I'm not. I urge everyone, including you, Whitey, including you, Jay. And Jose said this at our meeting a couple weeks ago.
You ain't lying.
Take your damn time.
Take your time.
Take your vacation time. Because if you don't, I sure will.
That's right.
I'm just saying. I've already planned the next one, fellas.
Dude, I like
planned the
Palm
next one.
Springs too. I know Whitey's not the biggest fan of it. It's for me when I go on vacations, I move around. I jump around the city. You know, I'm trying stuff. I'm on the move, and it's the typical. You need a vacation from your vacation.
Yep.
Palm Springs is a place where you can kind of move around a little bit, but a lot of what you're doing is relaxing or doing something that you find relaxing. So I like Palm Springs. Went there last year. Love it, man. I love it. I'm a Palm Springs fan, especially when it's not 120.
Well, I was just going to ask, is it hot yet?
Yeah, it started getting hot. I mean, upper
Just nice
90s,
and
low
warm.
100s.
Okay.
Yeah. And I will say, Jay, I did find some of the hot spots.
Ooh.
The nighttime spots. In Palm Springs as well. And so that was good. That was,
you got to. Yeah, there's a few of them.
There's a few.
They got it, as you said, a track. They have a strip right up and down Palm Springs. And then there's a few things. Like I say, I was joking. You got the Agua Calientes and all that good stuff.
Oh, you know, I hit that up.
Of course,
you know
man. There's a few things moving around Palm Springs, man.
Yeah, it was a good time.
And surrounding areas.
Seriously, I would consider buying a house there.
Really?
Yes. Not to live full time, Jay. Rent out, Airbnb it. You know what I mean? Sort of an investment property.
RJ has one.
Yes, too.
Yeah, RJ does. I need to holler at him.
I've actually stayed at one of RJ's places.
Really?
He's got a dope spot, pool, whole thing, overlook the mountains, all that. Yeah.
You don't have to worry about it now because Drape said you and me can stay anytime we want.
Anytime. I would hook you up.
I ain't got to hit RJ no more.
I would definitely hook you guys up for sure. I would definitely hook you up. 1 week a year you each get. Whatever.
Nice.
If I did buy a house 1 week a year, you guys got it. You guys
very nice.
What'd I miss?
A lot of idle speculation and rumors, and some people think somebody might think about doing this. You know how it is this time of year. Here's what we got, Drapes, as far as the King stuff. And I'm sure some of this you have seen, some of it you've heard. We've got Brett Siegel. Jrue Holiday is a veteran player the Kings have interest in, sources said. Also from Brett Siegel, Miami Heat expected to be buyers this offseason. DeMar DeRozan once again viewed by other teams as a potential target for Pat Riley and the Heat. Again, that's other teams think, maybe they'll be interested in DeMar DeRozan. Then we have Chris Davis. Raptors are quietly assessing trade possibilities for RJ Barrett. League sources state Hawks, Kings, Bulls, and Spurs are showing early interest that could intensify as the draft approaches. Then we also have Paul Pierce on some podcasts saying, I don't know why the Kings don't just trade DeMar DeRozan for Michael Porter Jr., which financially is like really hard to do. So that's pretty much what we got as far as what the Kings may do, may not do, or are doing right now.
Any of those intrigue you at all? Pique your interest? A couple of things.
Do a little bit.
Jrue Holiday. Let's start there.
Yeah, I love Jrue Holiday. If it was DeRozan for Jrue Holiday, yeah, I like that a lot. You know, but I'm hoping whatever they do, maybe they're going to do more things than just one thing. Hopefully, you got to get a little younger at some point, right?
Right. That's I
love
thing.
Jrue Holiday,
and I love Jrue Holiday also, but he's a stopgap guy. He's a year or two, a bridge kind of guy. And if I'm the Celtics, I understand the financial implications and everything like that. I could argue you'd probably get a better package from somebody else for Jrue Holiday, and that's where, and I don't know if you guys had any NBA experts on, the show last week, but what's DeMar's actual trade value out there?
Yeah, there's a disagreement on that, but if you're suggesting it may not be that high, I'm with you.
Right. And I think, and we've talked about this a couple of weeks ago, and I'll reiterate it here now that I'm back. Miami, a team that is desperate to get back to winning, a team that's desperate to do something. They're not going to get any free agents. No free agents going to Miami. That ship has sailed. maybe they feel so inclined to bring in a DeMar DeRozan. I could see something like that happening. But the problem, if you're Sacramento, if you do a trade with Miami, I don't know if you get back anything that helps you right now.
You want to hear the worst trade idea I've ever heard?
Uh-oh.
To that point, and I'll have to look it up. I forget the gentleman who wrote it, but he had, why this makes sense for both teams. And he had DeMar DeRozan to Miami for 2 second-rounders and Terry Rozier.
What? Is that Rozier about to get banned from the league? First of all,
I know. A guy under investigation in 2 seconds. Yeah, let's do that.
That's what. Oh man, give me a Jaime Jaquez or something. Sweeten it with that. Khalil Ware maybe or something. Jeez, but I will say this, Whitey. You read all that. I'm seeing all the smoke on social media. I'm of the belief something will happen though. Whether it's RJ Barrett, which I don't think it'll happen, Jrue Holiday, Miami, I think something's going to get done.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm coming to the realization, because this is my guy, that DeMar DeRozan might have been a one and done here in Sacramento.
Yeah, it is interesting. Most of these things, the one thing they have in common is that they involve DeMar DeRozan going out.
Right. I haven't heard anything with any other players. No Zach LaVine trade, no Sabonis, rumors. Everything is centered around DeMar. And we did the exercise a few weeks ago, which teams could likely be in on DeMar. To me, I think Miami, maybe Orlando. How about a team we're seeing in the playoffs? Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
They need some scoring outside of Ant-Man because Randall isn't getting it done. And so those are the teams I'm looking at. I don't see – here's the reason why Boston doesn't make sense. And people are like, well, he could fill in because Tatum. What's Boston's philosophy, Whitey?
3.
They're trying to get up 50 to 60 threes a game.
Yeah.
You don't bring in a guy. You don't trade Jrue Holiday and Sam Hauser for a guy that's not going to fit your system and shoot threes.
I agree. There are some people that look at DeMar DeRozan as potentially a guy who could fill a need if somebody can't get if they can't get Durant and they can't get Giannis. Oh, well, maybe Houston then. If they can't do that, maybe they'd go after DeMar. But to me, I don't see DeMar being in the same category as those guys. Nothing against him, but I don't think it's like that doesn't follow logically to me.
No, I agree. It doesn't. And, and I don't think Houston is a team that's desperate to do a bad move. You know what I mean? Getting Durant, getting Giannis, okay, I can see that. That puts you – if they got DeMar, does that really move them that closer to a championship?
Don't you think, Drapes, if you're Houston, you could make a strong argument for let's let it go one more year and maybe
OKC did it, right?
Yeah.
J-Dub stepped up. That's what OKC did. And so it doesn't make – I don't think Houston's in the market to panic right now unless they could get one of those big-time guys that we just talked about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's what you missed.
All right. So not much.
You missed the A's lost 11 straight.
I know. And they beat my Phillies yesterday or 2 days ago.
Yeah.
And I will say this, and I know we got a lot I got some A's things I need to get off my chest.
All right.
A little bit too. Okay. Whitey. I'm upset about some things.
Are you?
There. Yeah.
All right.
I'm upset.
We'll get to that, and we'll get to it's just speculation, but Sabonis to the Warriors. We got time for all that today. Drive Guys on Sacktown Sports.
Are you thinking about buying a new car? Well, maybe you're on the fence. Let me help you out. Kyle Draper here from Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. From the first time I stepped into the MB of Stockton showroom, I knew I made the right choice. I settled on the all-electric EQS SUV. It's comfortable, stylish, and most importantly, it's safe. Mercedes-Benz has the reputation of making the finest cars in the world. Now it's your turn to experience what I already know. Mercedes-Benz of Stockton is the best car buying experience you'll ever have. It's just a short drive down I-5 or anytime at mbfstockton.com.
Hagen Oaks wants to be your go-to total golf game fitter. Try the TrackMan experience, the very best technology to fit your metalwoods and irons. The new cutting-edge putter fitting studio with its $30,000 worth of technology is ready for your fitting. Hagen Oaks will help you find the best putter for your game. Hagen Oaks offers more technology, more choices, and more service. Schedule your fitting at the Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio by calling 916-808-2531, 808-2531 for more.
Progressive knows if you have to choose between everyday life and your boat, boat wins.
What are you going to do? Take the boat out for a spin or go mail something? Boat wins! Are we cleaning the patio or taking the boat out fishing? Boat wins! Are we skipping that eye exam to go sailing? Boat wins!
Rescheduling eye exams can be a nightmare.
All right, fine. Eye exam, then boat. Yeah!
With Progressive, you can bundle your boat with your home or auto and save with a discount and spend more time enjoying those savings on your boat. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states and situations.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Are you a victim of the timeshare trap and think there's no way out? I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, the original timeshare cancellation expert. And I'm here to tell you that there is a way out. All you need to do is give my office a call. I will send you a timeshare exit information kit absolutely free, explaining how the timeshare industry works and your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free info kit. 800-961-5544. 800-961-5544.
Water. It's more than just a word. It's morning routines, backyard memories, and everything in between. At Roseville Environmental Utilities, we're not just managing water, we're protecting it. Smart planning, conservation, innovation. We make every drop count for today and tomorrow. Let's keep the promise together. Find out how you can help at roseville.ca.us/water promise. Roseville Environmental Utilities. Water, it's not just a word, it's our promise.
Great conditions, a fun layout, and unbeatable value. Timber Creek and Sierra Pines are Sacramento's #1 rated golf destination. With 27 holes, a spacious practice facility, and professional instruction, there's always a way to improve your game. Planning a tournament or corporate event, they offer customizable packages and award-winning catering to make your event effortless. Timber Creek is easy to find in Roseville, but hard to forget. Book your round today at timbercreekgc.com or call 916-774-3851.
Extra. This shit is hard.
Your afternoon home for Kings talk and so much more. The Drive Guys on Sacktown Sports.
How about it, Drapes? The pressure's on Ant-Man. He didn't play well last night. OKC defended him well. He ended up scoring 16 points in their loss. After the game, he said, "I didn't struggle. I took advantage of the opportunities that were there for me." Stephen A. called Ant-Man's response to Game 4 inexcusable. So a lot of people today coming after Ant. How can he say he didn't struggle? I really don't have an issue with it, but a lot of people are really having a hard time with Ant-Man needing to show more leadership. What do you think?
Did you think he struggled in that game?
He was very well defended. I know everybody from his coach to Tim Legler said he wasn't as aggressive as he probably should have been in the first half. Second half, that wasn't an issue. He was just defended well. Tim Legler pointed out he was guarded, Ant-Man was, by multiple outstanding defenders, not just throughout the course of the game, but like on the same possession at times.
Yeah. No, I
thought defended him really well.
I actually thought Ant-Man played a pretty good floor game, to be honest with you. Now, the turnovers, you got to clean up. Can't turn them, can't turn the ball over as many times as he did. Give OKC some credit. Their defense was phenomenal. But he made the right plays, and so I don't think he struggled. Because here's why. Let's say Ant-Man gets up 15 shots, 20 shots, whatever it may be. Then Nickeil Alexander-Walker doesn't have the game he has.
Yeah.
Dante DiVincenzo doesn't have the game he has. Jaden McDaniels doesn't have the game he has. And so for me, when I watched Anthony Edwards in that game last night and the Timberwolves, you score 126 points in the playoffs, you're supposed to win. Whitey, you score 41 in the fourth quarter, you're supposed to win.
Mm-hmm.
It had nothing to do with Ant-Man offensively. Their inability to stop OKC is why they lost that game, allowing them to shoot 50% better than 50%. SGA 40 points. J-Dub got it right here, 31.
Like you said, the turnovers.
And the turnovers.
Killed him.
It killed him. You got to take care of the ball. This was not – and every great player, Whitey, I can go down the list and see games where maybe don't – Jokic, Game 7 against OKC. 9 shots for the entire game. And so it happens. I thought Ant-Man didn't force the issue. He got to clean up the 5 turnovers. Yes. But 13 shots, it ain't like he was Kobe refusing to shoot, in the second half, or LeBron. Like, he was playing, I thought, a solid game.
Yeah, I resent that whole notion that, well, if they don't win, the best player has to take all the responsibility. Yeah. That's really, when you look at everything that happened last night, that has virtually nothing to do with it. So why are we making an issue with that?
Right, exactly. Now, if they scored 85 points or something like that, yeah, okay. But dude, you score 126. You got to win that game. And how many times in the history of basketball have we seen the star player not take the shot but make the pass?
Mm-hmm.
That's what Ant-Man did pretty much all game. He took what was there, and when it wasn't, he passed it to open teammates.
I think he's also worn down, and I think OKC is wearing him down further.
Yeah.
And he's not going to say that,
right?
But I think that's what's going on.
And I'll also add this, too, to this, Whitey. Why are we, not me and you, I'm talking to basketball society now, expecting guys to be finished products and masters at 23 years old? You got to go through growing pains.
Yeah.
It happens. Not everybody could come in and be Magic and win as a rookie. Tim Duncan come in and dominate. Like, it takes some time. We look at Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Took him some time. Remember what happened to them last year. And so I'm not going to come down too hard on Ant-Man. They wouldn't be where they are without him. With that being said, I do expect him to come look for a shot a lot more.
Right.
But I don't know if that's a good thing. If they're playing the same kind of defense and you're forcing shots when you're 1-on-3, I don't know if that's a good thing.
I'm with you. It is incumbent upon him and his coaches to figure out how to adjust to that to get your best player in better situations in the next game. But let's face it, and I know the series is not over. It probably is over, but it's not technically over. The better team is winning.
Right. The better team all season long.
Yeah.
That's what happens.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like, there's a reason why OKC won 68 regular season games. Reason why they have the best defense in the league. And they're showing why. And give Mark Daigneault and that staff credit. They decided Anthony Edwards is not going to beat us. Mm-hmm. They said somebody else is going to have to beat us. And they nearly did. Minnesota nearly did have that game, but give OKC the credit. I don't think this was on Ant-Man yesterday.
I will say that Julius Randle needs to play a lot better than 1 for 7.
Yeah, what's up with him,
5
man?
points.
That's just, and that's the thing when it comes to Ant-Man. If I'm him, if I'm Minnesota, I'm like, I need help. Who's like, if Randall's hitting, then that opens it up for Ant-Man
like
a little
said,
more.
McDaniels helped. And Alexander Walker helped.
Dante
helped, and they couldn't win. That's got to hurt.
Right. And here's the problem Minnesota's having. Because what's going to happen now is the others, they went off last night. They played great.
Mm-hmm.
Now they got to do it in the game 5 on the road. That's going to be hard. Ant's probably going to be great. But now McDaniel's not going to have the game he had. Alexander Walker's not going to have the game he had. And so I think their backs are against the wall, and I got OKC in 5 in this one. Mm-hmm. They're wrapping this up tomorrow.
To me, the most impressive thing about that game, Jay and I touched on it a little earlier today, just the fact that OKC, and they are still finding their way through some of these playoff experiences. I mean, they closed, and they barely won last night, but they closed with a lot of poise on a hostile environment, a big game on the road.
Yeah.
That was really impressive to me, the way they finished.
Well, and that's one of the things I think you've seen the growth from them.
I agree.
Even from last year, even from earlier this playoffs.
Yeah.
Remember when they against Denver? Yes. They crumbled. And, I thought J-Dub made some big-time threes down the stretch. Chet Holmgren. Can we talk about Chet Holmgren?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's a third option. This dude is a future all-star. If it wasn't for Wemby, we might be talking about the potential of Chet Holmgren. Somebody at that size can handle, defend, shoot the 3. That dude is an all-world player. And so, and give it up to Shea. This whole foul merchant stuff, I'm kind of tired of.
I'm very tired
and I'll tell you what, Doris Burke is my girl. She's getting on my nerves.
She had a rough night.
She had a rough night last night. And I thought RJ, Richard Jefferson, too. And even my boy Mike Breen. I'm sitting there watching the game with my son, Nick, and it's like 16 seconds left. Oh, do you play the foul game now? And it's like some of the questions they were asking were like basic, like elementary basketball. Like, what are we doing here?
Right,
we all know the answer. And so they had a bad night.
Do you foul right away or not? And I was like, it's a 4-point game.
Right.
They may not foul at all.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
4. Yeah.
Right. I'm like, it's like they so badly wanted to talk about that, but they didn't understand time and score and situation. And I'm like, what are we doing? And so, no, they had a bad night last night.
Doris got me. I'm with you. I've been a Doris Burke fan, but when she said, I don't know much about history, she was talking about Gobert, Hartenstein, but I know Germans and French, they don't like each other much. I'm like, oh my goodness.
Yes.
What are we
doing? Right. Yeah. It's like, in an effort to be
World
entertaining. Right.
On Memorial Day.
Memorial Day at that, right? They try to be entertaining, but it was kind of cringy yesterday. And I saw people, posting. So why did ESPN get rid of Mark Jackson and Van Gundy? And those two, they were hard on the NBA and hard on players, but they were entertaining.
Yeah.
Listening to RJ and Doris, it's kind of brutal. And then I got to listen to Reggie Miller tonight, too. Yeah. It's like,
I don't even like Mark Jackson as a broadcaster, but I miss him because him and Van Gundy had such good chemistry.
Well, and here's the thing about Mark Jackson, too. I actually miss There Goes That Man or Hand down. Like, I don't know what Doris and RJ, what's their signature moment? What's the thing that's
French and the Germans don't like each other.
I don't want to hate on them because Doris is my girl. Shout out to Doris.
But you can't help it. You're not doing your job if you don't point that out.
I'm calling it like I see it.
As reluctant as you are to do that.
Exactly.
Ace survived another only at Sutter Health Park moment, but they snapped a long losing streak. And Drapes has some Ace thoughts for us as well. And we got all that when we come back to Sacktown Sports.
At Valley Strong Credit Union.
Watching Clorox cleanup spray dissolve tough grime in the shower feels like...
Wait, this really just happened? I'm shocked. Underwear and everything?
It feels like being able to zip up your overpacked suitcase on the first try.
Smooth.
With Clorox, clean feels satisfying. Clean feels good. Use as directed.
The DQ Sauced and Tossed Chicken Strip Baskets have more flavor than your taste buds know what to do with. We start with all white meat, breaded, seasoned, and fried to crunchy perfection. Next, we double down and toss them in honey barbecue or new buffalo sauce. Serve them up with DQ fries, Texas toast, and house-made Hidden Valley Ranch, and you've got flavor on flavor on flavor. Get the Sauced and Tossed Chicken Strip Basket in honey barbecue or new buffalo right now at DQ. Happy tastes good. Participation may vary.
Carmichael Dave here for my good friends at American Energy. As a native Sacramentan, I can tell you, not that you need to know, that it might be nice right now, but turn the corner and oh my God, it's so hot. Yeah, summer is coming. And my friends at American Energy want to make sure you are dialed with your AC unit. So how about this half off tune-up right now? It's a special going on, just $24.50 to get your air conditioner tuned up. A free diagnostic. And oh, by the way, if you need a new AC unit, up to $3,500 in rebates on qualifying system installations. That's right. They've been serving the greater Sacramento area since 1981. A+ with the Better Business Bureau. Give them a call, 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990. Here's the song.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
The Memorial Day Race to Savings is on. Get the best deals of the season at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Looking to own or lease? During the Memorial Day Race to Savings, drive a brand new Accord or Civic. Visit us today at FolsomLakeHonda.com, your one-stop Honda shop.
As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our number one priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
At Valley Strong Credit Union, we know that local businesses are the backbone of the Central Valley, investing in our neighborhoods, boosting the economy, making the Valley stronger. But when it comes to their finances, where can they turn? A big bank that just sees another number? That's not good enough. Valley businesses deserve Valley support for payroll, credit, cash flow, and everything in between. Valley Business is Valley Strong. Learn how our cash management services can support your business at valleystrong.com.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Are you a victim of the timeshare trap and think there's no way out? I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, the original timeshare cancellation expert. And I'm here to tell you that there is a way out. All you need to do is give my office a call. I will send you a timeshare exit information kit absolutely free, explaining how the timeshare industry works and your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free info kit. 800-902-5454. 800-902-5454.
Staples presents That Was Easy.
So we had a huge new business pitch.
Attention, all hands on deck.
When, boom, our only printer was fried.
Up in smoke. Like your chances of landing that account.
Well, I just sent the file to Staples. Devin, the print associate, was on it. She had it printed and bound same day.
So where's the drama?
There wasn't any. Staples made it super easy.
Inconceivable. For the product, services, and experts you need, Staples.
That was easy.
In-store, online, and on the app.
Your afternoon home for Kings talk and so much more. The Drive Guys on Sacktown Sports.
Well, we have an update on Game 4 tonight. The Pacers and Knicks from Michael Scotto. Indiana Pacers swingman Aaron Nesmith is doing better than expected and will play in Game 4 tonight. Coach Rick Carlisle tells Hoops Hype, huge boost for Indiana. Nesmith has been the primary defender on Knicks All-Star guard Jalen Brunson. Yeah, and he's been knocking out a few threes as well. So Aaron Nesmith is a go for tonight. Good news for the Pacers.
Big game tonight.
Yeah.
Did you guys no, we haven't had a show since then. John Halliburton, Tyrese's dad, back in the building.
Welcome back.
Yes. Yes. So looking forward to that.
He was very contrite and he apologized profusely. I shouldn't have done that. I'm sorry.
Dude, he lost his mind for that split second. He lost his damn mind. But no, it's going to be electric out there, man. I saw some of the players walking in, on TV, and some people posted online. Massive game tonight.
Do you think the league would much, much, much rather have the Knicks advance?
I think so.
Or these teams? Because I've been wondering, a lot of people have said, if it's OKC and Indiana, blah. But I think the players on those respective teams, and I know it may not get to that, but if it does come to that, they kind of they supersede the market size, because when OKC had Durant and Westbrook, people didn't care that, it's OKC.
Yeah.
Oh, man, look at that.
Right.
And I think these Thunder and these Pacers may have that same ability.
You think the Pacers have that? Is Tyrese or a way of
it seems
style
like
or
it.
what?
I mean, I'm with you. I think the league, if they had their druthers, would much rather have the Knicks win.
Yeah.
But I don't think the Pacers are as anonymous as we think of most small market teams as being.
No, I agree. And, it's, listening to Shams on Pat McAfee. I didn't watch it. I just saw the clip. I don't watch Pat McAfee show. Listening to Shams talk about how Indiana is becoming a destination, I kind of think the Pacers are kind of a cool team now. Like, and the way they play, too.
Oh, yeah.
When I look at the styles, OKC and Indiana, Whitey, I think that's a great matchup in terms of just basketball.
Yeah.
Forget about the market size and all that. The style they play, I think it's going to be a hell of a series if they match up.
I agree with you 100%. I will say this, though. And I was more critical than you for much of this Kings season of the way the offense went through DeMar late in the year. That said, last night I was watching Shea, and I'm like, that's what DeMar did. Down the stretch of the game, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Everything through him, and they ran ISO.
ISO.
And it's like, oh, wow. That's like, DeMar didn't shoot the three ball like Shea, but that's what they were doing.
And even Shea doesn't shoot it a whole lot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's, and that's what most teams do. Not everybody has a Jokic or, for us, a Sabonis where you run it through a big man. I look at Minnesota. They put the ball in Anthony Edwards' hands. Go out there and make a play. Knicks, they put the ball in Jalen Brunson's hands usually. Go out there and make a play. The only difference is those guys seem to be more efficient when it comes, late in games. And DeMar's clutch. I understand the clutch points. But in terms of big shot moments over the last couple of years, those guys have it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and OKC's got it right now. And Jalen Williams, my goodness. I mean, I knew he was a good player, but elevating his game. On the brightest stage.
Remember how bad he was in the Denver series too? People are like, oh, OKC needs to go out there and get a number 2. This is when Denver had a 3-2. It was 3-2, and Jalen Williams wasn't playing well. He came through in Game 7, but people were doubting this guy.
Mm-hmm.
And let's not forget, he's only in his third year, just finished his third year. And so, I mean, this kid, the way he closed out to Minnesota yesterday, fantastic. He's phenomenal.
Mm-hmm. Closer to home, of course, the A's had that long losing streak. They finally snapped it on Sunday. How about Willie McIver? Willie McIver, he gets called up, drives in the go-ahead run with his first major league hit on the 8th inning, and then he throws out the potential tying run at second in the 9th to end the game. Welcome to the major.
Yeah, that's how you make a debut, right?
Yeah. But the A's had lost 11 straight. They avoid the 12-game losing streak. They're taking on Houston tonight. They had another one of those only at Sutter Health Park moments, though, because Mark Kotze got thrown out of the game for arguing some terrible calls.
Oh, yeah.
And then when the manager gets thrown out at that point, he's going to walk.
Hold on. Is that so bad?
Well, it's just unusual.
It's unusual.
It's very unusual.
It's a guy walking.
Yeah.
Like,
After he's been thrown out of the game.
The part about it, I guess, that's unusual is, the camera shot, you got to stay on him as he, So it's like 25, 30 seconds. You see Kotze. I get that. But, let me say this.
Yeah.
I've been gone for a week or so. And the same tired narratives about the A's are still ongoing. And let me say this, Whitey. I feel like there are certain members of the media who call themselves journalists that have an agenda to make Sacramento look bad. I think it's getting kind of old and played out right now. And I'm looking at so-called, and I'm talking about Bay Area writers, looking to take shots. What happened to being objective? Like, I just feel like this A's situation, people are looking to take shots wherever they can. And I'm not talking about just fans. I'm talking about writers, Whitey, who feel an allegiance to Oakland and the Oakland A's, and they're taking shots at Sacramento. We're 2 months in. It's kind of played out, in my opinion, now.
Yeah. Well, it depends what you're talking about exactly that is written. To me, it's pretty apparent. This really hasn't worked the way it was supposed to work. It's a minor league park. Team's not a great team. I think the A's by far should have the cheapest ticket prices in baseball. I don't think they do, but I think given what you're getting when you go there, to me, it's clear that should be the cheapest seat in baseball. People go, they have a good time. We talked about it last week. Some people get on the soapbox. You shouldn't go. And a lot of people are like, I want to have a good time. People are going there having a good time. But it has been, it's been awkward to say the least.
Let me ask you.
It's a minor league park no matter what.
What does work versus doesn't work? What does that mean?
It means that the people aren't going because the way they drew it up, like this is going to be intimate. People are going to pay they're going to pay a lot of money for these tickets, and maybe they'll try to showcase the city. I don't know. And people haven't been going out there.
Their average attendance numbers are a little more than 10,000.
Not really.
Well,
that's what it says.
That's what it says. I don't know. I don't know. To me, it has worked because we're seeing Major League Baseball here. We're seeing the stars. Anything, the other stuff has to do with the ballpark.
Yeah.
Like, the ballpark's the ballpark. Why do you do the best? Nobody calls that a Major League Baseball park.
Right.
We're not expecting 30,000 over there, 15,000, 20. I wasn't. And mind you, how many people are not attending because of the owner?
Well, I don't know.
You know what I mean?
That's a good point.
So that has nothing to do with Sacramento or anything like that.
Well, I don't think any of it has to do with it's not Sacramento.
Maybe it's just a bad baseball team run by a bad owner. You put it here in Sacramento, you put it on the moon, you put it wherever. It ain't going to work.
In my opinion, none of it makes Sacramento look bad.
Okay. But my question is, can this franchise, this owner work anywhere?
I don't know. That's a good question.
You know what I mean? He go to Vegas.
Right.
That might not work either.
It might not.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and so
right.
I think, if we're saying it hasn't worked, that's not, in my opinion, have anything to do with the stadium, Mark Kotze having to walk to the outfield. It's mostly not working because of the owner.
Right. I agree. But the owner is the one who looked at this and was convinced, we'll make this work. We'll make this a major league caliber product. And it's just not. And it is, I've been out there a couple of times. So that's why it's not, I don't think it's happened the way they drew it up. And they thought, in my opinion, that fans of Sacramento, they're going to pay whatever we want them to pay because they're going to be so excited about baseball. And fans.
Did they say that, though? I don't.
That's why I said it's my opinion.
Okay.
You're right.
All right.
They didn't say that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it didn't work based on your opinion.
Well, okay. I don't see how you could objectively look at attendance and say that it's worked. It hasn't been. I mean, the attendance has been really underwhelming. But again, I think we agree on this. I don't think that's making Sacramento look bad or it's the fans' fault.
Right.
I think it shows that fans look at this whole thing and go, no, thanks. You're not even going to call yourself Sacramento? Fine. We're good. I think it makes Sacramento fans look smarter, in my opinion.
Yeah, I wonder, though, about the attendance numbers. Can we get an accurate number?
No.
Okay. So we really don't know then.
We do. I mean, you can look and you can see that it's not as many as has been reported, which is tickets sold. You know, if they say these are tickets sold.
And that's across the league, though, right? That's what everybody does.
Yeah, that's what everybody.
That's how the business
that's all
is.
Leagues,
That's the Kings
that's
also.
everybody.
That's
Absolutely.
everything.
Yeah.
So I can't look at ticket sales and attendance as it failed. Like everybody goes by tickets sold. The Kings do it. I don't know. I just think people are so negative about this that they're looking for reasons to say it didn't work. They're like, I go on vacation, I come back, people still posting attendance numbers. Who cares? Attendance is Did Aaron Judge play here? Did the Phillies just play here? Like, I'm not looking at this as a major league experience and I'm going to Yankee Stadium or Dodger Stadium. I'm watching baseball in Sacramento. I'm watching Aaron Judge play in Sacramento. Like, I didn't expect more than that. Maybe that's just me. I don't know. Jay, how you feel about that? Did you expect a whole lot more than what we're getting?
No. And we kind of talked about this a little bit last week, Drapes, and I think this is kind of where we ended because I feel you on the attendance number thing. That I said that last week. I'm tired of hearing about that. I'm tired of that being the lead of what's going on when we know that is fugazi anyway. Like we can all see that's fugazi. So why are we continuously, and media and everybody continuously talking about it when the only people that care about that, for me, is the ownership and the journalists. Fans don't give a damn about, how many people's inside.
But it is an indication that fans have not embraced it fully here.
But I don't clearly. But the thing is I don't think fans care about that. I think journalists and the A's care about that. And I think the league, meaning MLB, cares about that because that's the story. For a journalist, that's the story, knowing that fans don't care. So I understand what Drapes is saying, but I also, on the flip side, Drapes is say this, and people called in last week and made great points. Take it how you want to, meaning fan how you want to fan. And I think that, to me, shows me the true scope of what people care about. Unfortunately, we have some people who are, all in and will argue that everything counts. Then we have some people who's like, nah, I just want to go to a ball game and I'm happy to see, professional league here in Sacramento. And then I think you have a middle. And I think that's where me, Whitey, and many fans landed, that there's a middle to it. You don't have to be on both sides of the scope to say, yeah, they won or they lost. I think there is a median.
And I'll wrap up by saying this, though. They came into town with a product that wasn't good. The rollout wasn't good. The situation wasn't. So based on that, even if they thought we're going to sell all these tickets, anybody in their right damn mind could see the product is bad, the rollout is bad, ownership is bad. People felt a certain way about the A's before they even came to town, and so they were already, in my opinion, operating from a deficit in terms of whether it's a work. When they go to Vegas, it probably won't work. It won't be sellouts and $500 a ticket and everything like that, because the product, meaning the ownership and the franchise, is stained right now. The A's franchise You look at their Q ratings. If they did something like that, their brand is damaged right now.
You're right. And you're right. They did not help themselves when it came to endearing themselves to Sacramento fans, the way they handle it. They botched that.
Yeah.
We're the Athletics. We're not Sacramento Athletics.
Yes.
So it's just a series of mistakes like that. Like you say, as far as Vegas goes, are they going to go to Vegas? We don't know. I mean, that's still an open question, too.
Come on, Whitey, speaking into fruition, baby. No.
Yeah. How much of what the Kings need would Jrue Holiday bring? We're back to that conversation when we come right back. Drapes is back today. Drive Guys, Sacktown Sports.
Require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Well, Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can get a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. It all starts with an online intake form. Get started at hims.com/joy, and from there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs with options up to 95% less than the brand names. Millions of men experience ED, but Hims can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
Watching Clorox cleanup spray dissolve tough grime in the shower feels like...
Wait, this really just happened? I'm shocked. Underwear and everything?
It feels like being able to zip up your overpacked suitcase on the first try.
Smooth.
With Clorox, clean feels satisfying. Clean feels good. Use as directed.
The DQ Sauced and Tossed Chicken Strip Baskets have more flavor than your taste buds know what to do with. We start with all white meat, breaded, seasoned, and fried to crunchy perfection. Next, we double down and toss them in honey barbecue or new buffalo sauce. Serve them up with DQ fries, Texas toast, and house-made Hidden Valley Ranch, and you've got flavor on flavor on flavor. Get the Sauced and Tossed Chicken Strip Basket in honey barbecue or new buffalo right now at DQ. Happy tastes good. Participation may vary.
Looking for fun for the whole family? Sacramento Rivercats Baseball has it all at Sutter Health Park. Enjoy exciting baseball, kids' activities, tasty ballpark treats, and more. Family memories start here. Get your Rivercats baseball tickets at rivercats.com.
Finally, an easy way to find home improvement contractors. Just visit subcontractorsunited.com and simplify your search for home services professionals. From cabinets to windows, roofing to plumbing, Subcontractors United is an easy, simple way to find and hire a home improvement contractor. And you never have to give up personal information. So no harassing phone calls like you get from those other websites. Subcontractorsunited.com is sponsored by D&D Cabinets and Savage Design.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Sacramento's official home of the 49ers.
San Francisco.
Sacktown Sports, 1140. Live and local, it's the Drive Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sacktown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sacktown Sports app.
Jrue Holiday's name has been linked, however tenuously, to the Kings. How much, if we allow our imaginations to run wild a little bit, how much could he actually address their needs? We'll get to that here. It's a Drive Guys. Drapes is back, went to Palm Springs, and he won't admit this, but Jay and I have reason to believe that Drapes went to Palm Springs because he wanted about a week to celebrate the new Brock Purdy contract. That's great. I hope you
yeah. That's partially right. That's partially right. Wanted to I wish I knew Brock, spend some of that money with him, but maybe I wanted to get away from the Brock Purdy conversation after his new contract was signed. You know what I mean? I wanted to take a break from all that. It was too much.
You
Brock
missed his
Purdy
press
talk.
conference. I think he met with the media the next day.
Did he really have one?
Yeah.
Nobody want to hear it. Well, dude, listening to Brock Purdy is like listening to the teacher from Peanuts. Wah, wah. He ain't saying nothing interesting, ladies and gentlemen.
He said he's excited.
Right. Do they got OTAs this week or no? Are they
started today?
They started today, right? Yeah, okay.
100 days from today, the NFL season starts.
And you couldn't miss that on X today, right?
Yeah.
So like everybody was posting that. Every NFL guy, reporter, journalist, insider saw they kept posting. Like, okay, we got it. We get it.
Right. But once the preseason starts, it's like, when you're a kid and it's like December 23rd, it takes forever before Christmas arrives, right?
Yeah.
It seems like it takes forever. Once the preseason starts, it seems like forever until the season.
Right. Even camp and everything.
Yeah.
It's like,
get on with it.
Right.
Let's go.
And let me ask you this. Do you feel like preseason football, are you guys tuning in to game one? Are you locked into that?
I always do.
Hall of Fame game?
No, not
or
a
Niners
little bit.
first preseason.
The 49ers
way.
first game,
No.
I'll watch a little.
I'm not watching nothing.
I can't get into it.
I'm with you. I respect that. I wish I could be stronger like you.
What's better, Pro Bowl or preseason?
Damn, it's that bad.
It's that bad. It's that bad.
You mean all the games of tomfoolery and everything?
I should say old Pro Bowl versus game one of
preseason. Is that
preseason.
low, huh, Jay?
Oh yes, that man. Listen, the branch is snapped. It is low hanging fruit. The branch is literally snapped.
Well,
it's that low.
In the preseason, most guys are trying. It's just guys that you never heard of and don't care about.
Yeah, it's maybe I'll watch like a first quarter of a game or something like that, but it's too meaningless. You can't whether a team wins or loses, a guy plays well or not has no bearing on the season.
Yeah, I will say Brock Purdy is probably proof that preseason counts a little bit because he played well enough, and of course he also had to play well in practices and things that we never saw in order to show that he belonged on the roster. So it counts some. It just doesn't mean that it's entertaining or worth watching.
Right. That's the thing.
Yeah. 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Javier's been hanging on. Javier, thanks for hanging. What's going on, sir?
How you doing, Mr. Draper? How you doing, Mr. Gleason?
What's up, man?
I wanted to make this proposal. I've been waiting for you to come back, but I wanted all three of you guys to hear this trade. Please give me some time to explain the reasoning behind it. I feel like based on what we saw in the playoffs in round 2 with Cleveland, I think we should honestly call Cleveland and present DeMar DeRozan, Terrence Davis, and Domantas Sabonis. And the first round pick we got back in the Levine deal with the 2 second round picks we have now available. Now that the Kevin Huerter first round has been sent over there, we have the availability to 26, 27 second round picks. And we asked for our point guard in Garland and Allen, Jared Allen, the center, a rim protector, our center, and we get a perimeter defender in Okoro. Now, please let me explain the logic in this. We get our point guard, we get a rim protector, and we get a true defender on the perimeter in Okoro, and we let Murray get those available touches that DeMar DeRozan is taken away. Why Cleveland doesn't? They've had all these wins the last 2 or 3 seasons with no success. With all 64 wins, 66 wins, they can't get out of the second round. They can't get out of their own way. When Donovan Mitchell's not going crazy, they don't have a secondary scorer. They get a true center with that pick and roll game with him and Donovan Mitchell. On top of that, they get a Hall of Fame reliable shooting guard in DeMar DeRozan. And let's just say heaven forbid knock on wood, it doesn't go well. They can give him a $10 million buyout. They have a whole dang near max slot available next summer. The Kings get a point guard where him and Levine roll the blocks in him and say, all right, you do the scoring, Okoro, Murray, and Allen, you guys are everything defensively we're doing our starting lineup. They get our first round pick that we got in that Levine deal. I think it's a win-win for both teams. And people say that's so irrational. It never happened. Well, just 3.5 years ago, we traded. Just 3.5 years ago, we traded for Domantas Sabonis 3 for 3.
Thank you.
3.5 months ago or so, we traded. Luka Doncic got traded.
Gotcha, Javi.
When that happened, sir.
Thank you. Thanks for hanging on. And for Javi, that's one of his better, more sensible trades.
Yeah. I gotta throw this in the trade. I
man.
just got to see this in the trade machine because
finances are big, and you've looked at them, Javi. I haven't. Domas has a huge contract, and Cleveland doesn't have a lot of wiggle room financially.
Yeah, it's so many parts that Javi listed there. I need to add a team and see. So we're giving up Domas,
DeMar. They had Terrence Davis in there, and I think a draft pick.
And
a first rounder,
26 or 27, he said.
For Garland, Allen,
Okoro.
You doing that way?
That's not bad. J.A. hook 'em horns. I had to look up J.A.'s contract. He's 3 for 90. So Next year, 28, then it escalates 30 and then 32-4.
I like Okoro a lot. I just, not to dodge your question, I still don't see why Cleveland does that. Because, they didn't get out of the second round. But if Garland hadn't been hurt, I mean, I think they can look at that. I think they are more determined to keep that roster together than break it up.
Yeah. I think they're going to make some tweaks. I don't know if Jared Allen is the guy that they move off.
Their interior defense is such an important part of what they do that they would lose a lot of that bringing in Domas. Or Jared Allen.
Yeah.
I don't think they would do it.
I'm going through the trade machine right now because that's a massive deal.
Yeah.
For Garland, the question
might be Javi's masterpiece. That's really a well-constructed.
Yeah, and he obviously tried the trade and did it.
Yeah.
Hollinger says that would give Cleveland 7 wins and would subtract 6 wins for us. That's just Hollinger, this little thing. I don't know. That's tough.
I will say this as a, someone who follows Jared Allen. He was on the trading block a couple seasons ago. Like they were trying to figure out what to do with him. I had to look at Darius Garland's contract, which is way bigger than I remember. 5 for almost $200 million.
Damn, he's getting
$197. Yeah.
I don't think Cleveland would do it.
I don't think so either.
Is it the Garland piece? You think it's Garland?
It changes up their DNA with the interior defense. And Okoro, they probably, they got to save money there. They probably wouldn't mind there. But Garland's important. And then Sabonis in, Jared Allen out. They lose a lot of what makes them them. And I know they didn't get out of the second round, but I don't think they're desperate now. Like, we got to tear this up.
Yeah.
I don't think they're there yet.
I do think they need some perimeter scoring, wing scoring. No offense to Max Strus and Ty Jerome off the bench.
Jerome may be on his way out of town.
Dude, Ty Jerome did not look good in the playoffs.
No,
he might have cost himself some money out there.
I think he did.
He might have cost himself. But then who's there? Is it just Donovan Mitchell and DeMar in the backcourt? I don't know if I like that.
Mm-hmm.
I like Darius Garland. He didn't have a great playoffs. He was banged up, obviously. I do think they'll make some tweaks, but trading 2 starters, like you said, that's changing the DNA of your team. I don't know if they want to do all that.
We'll get right back to the phones, 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. And speaking of deals, what's this about Jrue Holiday? Is there anything to it? Should Kings fans, if there is, be enthusiastic about it? We're back with that next. Sacktown Sports.
Now more than ever, Lowe's knows you don't just want a low price, you want the lowest price. And with our lowest price guarantee, you can count on us for competitive prices on all your home improvement projects. If you find a qualifying lower price somewhere else on the same item, we'll match it. Lowe's, we help, you save. Price match applies the same item, current price at qualifying retailers. Exclusions and terms apply. Learn how we'll match price at lowes.com/lowest price guarantee.
Progressive knows if you have to choose between everyday life and your RV wins.
What, are you going to take the RV to the mountains or go pick up your dry cleaning? RV wins! Are we cleaning the gutters or taking the RV camping? RV wins! Are we getting a new passport or cruising up the coast? RV wins!
Don't forget, you got that trip to Sweden coming up.
Oh, yeah, passport, then RV. Yeah!
With Progressive, you can bundle your RV with your home or auto and save with a discount and spend more time enjoying those savings in your RV. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states and situations.
I want to learn how to cook, but I keep ordering takeout.
Accomplishing goals is hard, but when your goal is to learn a new language, Babbel makes it easy. In just 15 minutes a day, Babbel will help you start having conversations in as little as 3 weeks. Words and phrases you'll actually use. So when someone asks, "How's your French going?" you can say,
Babbel facilite grandement l'apprentissage d'une nouvelle langue.
Now save up to 50% on your Babbel subscription at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Are you a victim of the timeshare trap and think there's no way out? I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, the original timeshare cancellation expert. And I'm here to tell you that there is a way out. All you need to do is give my office a call. I will send you a timeshare exit information kit absolutely free, explaining how the timeshare industry works and your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free info kit. 800-848-1331. That's 800-848-1331.
The only station in Sacramento giving you local sports coverage from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. Sacktown Sports.
We were just talking about preseason NFL games. Frank and Antelope says, try being a season ticket holder. You have to pay the same amount of money for preseason as you do regular season. I think that's also true in the NBA. I remember having to buy preseason tickets when we were Kings season ticket holders. Preseason NFL, if you're there, it's a slog. You know, it's a long night or day.
That's one of the ones you give away, right? Like, you try to give them away or sell them or something like that. Just get something back for them, right?
From the 916, I like Jrue Holiday. He's the type of point guard we need to lead this team. Should we even talk about Jrue Holiday? Is it even something we should even talk about at this point? I know no one is saying it's anything close to happening. Is there enough there, Drapes, where we get the Drapes seal of approval? Like, yes, we can discuss it. I'm
saying no.
No, okay.
I personally am saying no.
Okay. I thought maybe you would say yes because you sent Jay and I that item today about the Celtics.
Well, the Celtics got to make some moves.
Yeah.
They got to make some moves. And one of the my boy Chris Forsberg for NBC Sports Boston wrote a piece about a potential Jrue Holiday to Dallas move and getting back PJ Washington and Daniel Gafford maybe. And so I'm going to say no because I don't think we have the pieces the Celtics would want. I don't think there's any interest in DeMar DeRozan in Boston.
I would be surprised if
knowing Brad Stevens the way I do, knowing their system, it just doesn't fit. It just doesn't fit for them.
Don't you think it's going to be a challenge to find the systems that he does fit with? If he is looking to move and you're looking to accommodate him, that's a nice way to put it.
Yeah, and that's the issue. If and somebody threw out Michael Porter Jr. We could talk about that coming up in a minute.
Oh, Paul Pierce.
Oh yeah, our boy Paul Pierce. I got to get Paul on the show. I love Paul Pierce. Paul Pierce is my guy. But if DeMar knocked down threes and, was a prolific three-point shooter, it would be a game changer.
Yeah.
But the view around the league is he's kind of a dinosaur, And then we mentioned earlier the teams I think it makes sense for. Orlando, they need scoring. They need half-court scoring. Houston, if they wanted to go that route. I don't know. Who else did I say, Whitey? Maybe Detroit?
Yeah, I've heard people say that. I don't see that at all, but I understand the logic.
Right. And so that's the problem. There aren't a lot of teams that, in my opinion, would be interested in DeMar's services in today's NBA.
We'll get to a little more on Jrue Holiday and why some people are linking him to the Kings potentially. It just been a first. I do want to get back to the phones. Freddie's been on hold.
Oh, Freddie's on hold.
339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Freddie, thanks for hanging. What's on your mind?
Hey, guys. Just want to reel it back into some more of the baseball ace talk a little bit. Just wanted to say, as someone that is not a diehard baseball fan, as someone who's more of a casual, I can definitely say what you guys were saying about the A's needing to ingratiate themselves more with the Sacramento fan base. I do think that's 100% spot on. I just had a daughter recently. She's born on 4th of July, so
congratulations.
I'm always looking. Thank you. I'm looking forward to wanting to take her to Sutter Health Park because even though I'm not a diehard baseball fan, born and raised in Sacramento, I feel like that's a tradition that all kids should be able to experience. And so obviously you can always get that with the River Cats, every season, but it would be nice to take them to an A's game. But when there's so much negativity surrounding us as a city, I don't know why. We were not in Rob Manfred's office discussing why the A's should come to Sacramento for a few years, like what somehow it gets put on us and the fans as if we had something to do with it. Like, it's very unfortunate. And, maybe if they changed up the way they did things a little bit and, like I said, ingratiate themselves more, we wouldn't be in the situation where we're talking about, tickets and the seats not being filled all the time. Like, these are all conversations that would not matter if the A's did more of trying to be a little bit more loyal to us, even if it's for 2 or 3 years. It doesn't matter. Like, in Sacramento, we ride for our teams. Look at the Kings and what we've been through. We still have, the craziest fan base in all of the NBA. So, once you get a hold of that, then, more people will come, especially like me, because, at this point, it's still more about the River Cats than it is the A's, but that's not because we want that. That's because that's what the A's have chosen. If you want to be all about Vegas before you're even out the door in Sacramento, go right ahead, but we're not going to give you our money knowing that, hey,
gotcha,
we just, we're in it for your money, and then that's it. We're going to go to Vegas.
What's your daughter's name?
Hazel Johnson Goldman.
Wonderful. Congratulations on that. Thanks for sharing your thoughts. We appreciate it. And thanks for listening. Yeah, it'd be very interesting to see, assuming the A's do stay here, which as far as we know, they're going to stay here for, 3, maybe 4 years, if that's something they rethink in the offseason. I have no idea. But if they revisit that next year, I heard Alan today saying maybe once a homestand they wear Sacramento jerseys. I don't know, but I'll be interested to see what, if anything, they do about that after this year.
Would Sacramento fans see through that, though? Is that just pandering?
I don't know. It's something.
Like,
I mean, it's a fair question, but it's better than nothing, isn't it? Potentially. Maybe they do more than that. Maybe they just full on become the Sacramento A's for the next couple of years.
Right. But that's the problem I feel like with this isn't about whether they put a patch or call it the Sacramento A's. It's about the motives behind it. It's about, do we trust John Fisher's, motives? He's like Mr. Burns from The Simpsons. It's like, you may do that and it may be nice, but because it's you doing it, we're like,
could have his
it's like, because we know if he does that, Whitey, he's only doing it for one reason: financial. To get fans to come out to the stadium. It's not like he has some loyalty to the city of Sacramento. Don't show up with give me a T-shirt and say you're riding and dying for Sacramento. We know the real deal. So I think Sacramento fans might see through that too. If he would have did that in the beginning, but you've shown your true colors almost.
Yeah, their hand may be forced if they're going to stay here. I don't know. I think it'll be interesting. I think better late than never, but I wouldn't be surprised if they say, no, we have no interest in doing that. Sorry, deal with it. I don't know.
Man, the rollout was bad. I'll go back to the beginning. Should have embraced Sacramento from the get-go. Then you may have a city behind you. You may have a community proud of, to have the A's here. You got half the people here are like, I feel weird. It doesn't feel good.
Here's one thing that could change this whole conversation.
Yeah, what you got?
I don't know if this is going to happen. You hear things, but you hear a lot of things. Things get thrown around. If at some point, say later this summer, maybe towards the end of the year, somebody in Sacramento comes up with some semblance, an outline of a stadium plan, and if that starts to become a reality, and it looks like, wow, there's a reality here that maybe Sacramento is in position to make an effort to keep or gain a team, I think that changes the conversation. If that happens. Big if. Big if. Somebody somewhere is like, we're working on the stadium plan. We've got investors. We're working on, whether it be the A's or whoever, we are working on getting a team. Because you're seeing that from, Portland, Nashville, a lot of cities. Until Sacramento is able to get that many runners on the bases, if you will. Now it's just kind of just all theoretical. So we'll see. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I just think, I don't know if people are really checking for the A's in town yet. The people I talk to, and I'm friends with, nobody's one couple said, and they're A's fans, we should go today. Nobody else is. I don't feel like they're in the discussion in the neighborhoods, in the barbershops. I don't think people are really caring whether they win or lose or anything like that right now. Yeah. Because it's not our team. Right. It doesn't feel like our team yet. Right, right. And let's face it, baseball takes a big time commitment because it's every day. Every day. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And the thing about it too is, the 11-game losing streak didn't help. No. But it's like, all right, you won 2 days ago, but you're going to lose. It's hard to get any momentum because games come every day. And unless you're
I mean, even the Dodgers have struggled recently. Unless you're one of the premier teams, it's hard to get that support, especially when you're new in town.
Right.
Like, I go back to the Vegas Golden Knights. You know why the Golden Knights were so successful? Because their first season, they were great.
Yeah.
It became cool.
They changed the rules on, expansion draft and things. And they said, we're going to make sure you get some good players. You'll be a good team.
And then bam. And then it took off.
Vegas bought into that. My understanding is to a degree that fans in Vegas still have not quite done with the Raiders. It's like, that's our team.
I agree.
Raiders, they play here.
Right. I know for a fact. Saying you're going to a Raiders game versus saying you're going to a Vegas Golden Knights game. It's a different feel.
Aces, I don't know. I would assume it's similar, but I'm just guessing.
Going to Aces game in a couple of weeks.
Are you?
Fella, yeah. Making
there
another
or
in Vegas.
Oh,
in
okay.
Vegas, yeah. Hopefully my girl will be playing, though. Caitlin Clark in the Indiana Fever. I know. It's like
quad injury.
In about 3.5 weeks.
You should be.
She should.
For you, she'll play, I'm sure.
She'll be back. Yeah.
Yeah. 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Austin is hanging on. Hey, Austin, what's going on? You're on with the Drive Guys. What's up?
What's up? Appreciate you taking my call. Listen, I have a lot of animosity towards John Fisher, but I feel like that's an old story, right? We like to just hate on him. It's easy. If I saw him burning in the street, you know what I would do. I probably wouldn't help him. But what I really dislike is how the A's got kind of jobbed out of the South San Jose area, right? So I'm a transplant. I live in Folsom now, but I've been an A's fan for a long time. I lived in San Jose, and I was really hoping that the A's would move to San Jose. So when the ownership decided to give the rights up to the Giants, I feel like the Giants were very selfish in not giving those rights back up, because at least people in Oakland can make the trek down 680 or 880 or maybe even take BART half the way and do an Uber. So I'm frustrated with Giants ownership, and I feel like they're not getting as much of the blame as John Fisher. Now, I'm not a fly on the wall in these business meetings, so I don't know who is really to blame, but all I know is the Giants are partially to blame, and I'd love to hear your thoughts, boys. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks. You're 100% right. I mean, it's business, so is it just good business? But they are to blame. Yeah, you go back to when the A's were trying to move to San Jose about 2011, and the A's were the ones, the Giants blocked that.
Yeah.
The Giants, and the Giants, when the A's were just here, they had the signs about how much they love.
Yeah, soda.
Yeah, 510 and everything. They never once voted to block the move. So, yes, the Giants definitely are complicit in this. They have been active participants in getting the A's out of the Bay Area. There's no question about it.
And we understand it's a business for them. They're like, A's move. That opens up a whole new market for them.
Yeah,
they can expand their footprint out there, which is, I understand it. But, to the caller's point, it's like, well, when the Giants, needed some help, A's didn't stand in their way.
They didn't.
They
literally
helped them fill it.
The territory of the South Bay. Because we want
Exactly.
two teams in the market. John's like, well, you might, but we don't.
We don't. Yeah.
Absolutely true. We'll come back with more on Jrue Holiday, why he is being mentioned potentially as a king, why Draper says, I wouldn't get my hopes up. Next on Sacktown Sports.
Stay up to date on Sacramento sports. Join the Sacktown Sports 1140 newsletter. Visit sacktownsports.com.
At Valley Strong Credit Union, we know that local businesses are the backbone of the Central Valley, investing in our neighborhoods, boosting the economy, making the Valley stronger. But when it comes to their finances, where can they turn? A big bank that just sees another number? That's not good enough. Valley businesses deserve Valley support for payroll, credit, cash flow, and everything in between. Valley Business is Valley Strong. Learn how our cash management services can support your business at valleyststrong.com.
The Memorial Day Race to Savings is on. Get the best deals of the season at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Looking to own or lease? During the Memorial Day Race to Savings, drive a brand new Accord or Civic. Visit us today at folsomlakehonda.com, your one-stop Honda shop.
As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our number one priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
The Hagen Oaks Cutting Edge Putter Fitting Studio offers you more technology, more choices, and more service. Hagen Oaks wants to be your go-to total golf game fitter. With $30,000 worth of state-of-the-art technology ready for your fitting, Hagen Oaks will help you make your best putting stroke while finding the best putter design, shape, hosel, length, and loft for your game. Schedule your fitting at the Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio by calling 916-808-2531. That's 808-2531 for more.
With 25 award-winning years in Northern California, Ashton & Price is your local injury law firm. Pro attorney tip: if a firm presents as local but they're in LA, red flag. If your first consultation is not with a lawyer, big red flag. At Ashton & Price, your first consult is with a local attorney, and if serious injury prevents travel, a lawyer will come to you. Still not enough? George Washington's my uncle. At Ashton & Price, no red flags, just red, white, and blue.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
Louis C.K. in an all-new show, Ridiculous 2025 Tour.
When I was younger, you had to go in the bank. Remember that? You had to go inside the bank. Now you look in the bank, you're like, what are those people doing in there? Are they cleaning? The money's out here.
Friday and Saturday, June 13th and 14th, 8 p.m., the venue at Thunder Valley. For tickets, visit ThunderValleyResort.com. Louis C.K. live on stage.
Skeeter here. Got a question. What's small and dark with white bands on its legs and bites during the day?
Mosquitoes. Hi, I'm Luz Maria Robles, but these are two new types of day-biting mosquitoes. They're invading our area and becoming a big problem.
And they can be dangerous.
But we're on it, so when you see them, report it at fightthebite.net. In the meantime, use insect repellent and drain stagnant water around your yard.
We're here to help with these day-biting mosquitoes.
Visit us at fightthebite.net.
Only one radio program captures the excitement of hunting and fishing as it happens. The award-winning California Sportsman with Sep Hendrickson. Only California Sportsman takes you where the action is. Live on the water, live in the blind, and live with the top pros and experts in outdoor sports. California Sportsman with Fishing Hall of Famer Sep Hendrickson is your premier destination for all things outdoors. Sep's Saturday Morning Outdoors. Ultimate Bass and California Sportsman, 5 a.m. to 8 a.m. Saturdays on Sacktown Sports 1140.
Oh, baby, baby. The only station in Sacramento giving you local sports coverage from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. Sacktown Sports.
We don't know what the Kings are doing this offseason yet. We can speculate. We think we know what they would like to do, but they got to wait, see what other teams are doing, see what goes on with the draft. They're working guys out. So you've got this vacuum. As Kings fans, we're waiting to hear something. And then with nothing of note actually happening, this vacuum is created, and then everything that has anything to do with the Kings gets sucked up into the vacuum. And we look at it like, wow, what about this? From Brett Siegel. Jrue Holiday is a veteran player the Kings have interest in, sources said. What sources? We don't know. What exactly did they say? Who are they? We don't know. Whether or not Holiday is made available in trade talks by Boston is the ultimate question. New GM Scott Perry has made it clear his team needs a true point guard, and Scott Perry has always been a fan of Holiday when he worked with the Knicks. Perry wanted to explore the possibility of adding Holiday in New York before he was traded to the Bucks in 2020, sources said. Same sources? I don't know. What exactly did they say? We don't know. Sacramento enters the offseason with decisions needing to be made about DeMar DeRozan's immediate future. Brett Siegel. So then you've also got on the Boston side, Drapes, I know you've been following this. There's a lot of talk of how Boston may need to do something that may need to move a fairly substantial salary.
Well, I just texted my boy Chris Forsberg, NBC Sports Boston, just wrote a piece about Sam Hauser and Jrue Holiday going to Dallas in a potential deal. I said, Forsberg, any chance of a DeRozan for a Holiday swap? His take on it. Probably too much money for C's. But if they struck out on other low-cost options or could reroute him to a third team, they might be intrigued. Not sure he fits Missoula ball with all his mid-range shots.
Right.
There you go.
Mm-hmm. So that's not a definite no way.
Not a definite no way, but it's not the Celtics want him. Like, if we can, send them elsewhere and facilitate something, yes. And it may come to that way.
I know. My guess, and I know you already talked about this, I think it's going to be the case with a lot of teams that the Kings talk to about DeMar DeRozan.
Right.
Not our first choice, but, you know, if we can't get what else we want, maybe.
Yeah, and I think, you know, listening to Forsberg and you and just, I think the league needs to probably wait what happens with Giannis, what happens with Kevin Durant, all the big fish, and then see who's still desperate to make a move, a la Houston or somebody like that. So we might not know. Let me ask you this, though, because, you know, you read what Brett Siegel said. Do we have any concrete source inside the organization that says they would be looking to move on from DeMar DeRozan? Or is this all speculation?
There's nothing concrete.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Not even from DeRozan's side.
Right.
Okay.
And I'm glad you reiterated that. I've been trying to be, you know, clear on that because that's the case with a lot of this. That's why I point out with Siegel, a source says, what source? What did he say?
Right.
Who is it?
Right.
How would this source know anything? We don't know. But again, because there's nothing else going on, we kick it around on the text line here, 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. We already got Jrue Holiday, a younger version. His name is Devin Carter. I saw one potential trade here that had DeMar going to the Celtics for Holiday, and to sweeten the pot, the Kings would have to throw in Devin Carter, and I don't think I'd do that.
You're that high on Devin Carter right now.
Just the whole idea of a younger player for Jrue Holiday, who even,
you
know, he's just not going to be, what is he, 34?
34.
I love Jrue Holiday, but the whole fitting my timeline thing.
Right. You know,
I need young assets.
I don't know what the ceiling is for Devin Carter. Like, is he a starter in this league?
I don't know. I'm not pretending it is. I don't know.
And I would say
this.
Be a
rotation player.
I would say this too. And not saying he's going to turn into this guy. But the Kings have a history of trading away young talent before they fully develop. Tyrese Halliburton. Not saying Devin Carter would turn into that. But damn, let's see what he is first. Like, to your point, a 34-year-old Jrue Holiday, we're going to give up a lottery pick, basically? A guy that was a lottery pick going into his second year who only played half a season? It doesn't make sense.
530 says, Jrue Holiday is old and slightly above mid. He moves 0 needles. He's better than mid.
Yeah.
He's on the back nine, no question. He would move some needles, but he would move more needles for a team that's really close to a championship.
Yeah.
Be like, that guy makes us a championship team, and the Kings just aren't there.
Yeah, and the thing about it, too, when it comes to Jrue Holiday, I still think he has some left in the tank. I think because of the team he was on, he wasn't asked to do a whole lot offensively. He wasn't asked to run a team, per se. Just play some great defense, knock down some shots. You know, that's it. Now, if he's on Sacramento, he's our lead guard. He's got the ball in his hands. He's creating. He's running the show. You know, I don't know if we want to. The problem with the Kings, Whitey, historically, and I would love to hear fans' take on this, 916-339-1140. Too many times we've tried to fast track our way to relevancy.
Try to take shortcuts.
And so, to your point about Jrue Holiday's age, maybe we want to look at somebody younger.
Yeah.
You know, don't just get a stopgap in terms of trading away assets just for 2 seasons of Jrue Holiday. Like, I would be highly reluctant in any deal, unless it's a star, to trade a first-round pick even.
Yeah, me too. I do think there's some middle ground. I'm with you, but I don't think you're saying to tank, and I'm not pro-tanking,
No.
but you can get younger without just, we're going to lose
60
games a year for the next 4 years.
You definitely can get younger. And, you know, and if I'm making a trade, maybe I'm not trading for a 34-year-old about to be 35-year-old point guard. Maybe I'm trading for an Anthony Black in Orlando, somebody younger, or a Cam Whitmore in Houston, or, like I said before, my boy Ben Mathurin, who is having a horrific series right now. But maybe I'm taking a flyer on somebody like that instead of the finished product a la Jrue Holiday, who has 2 years left, basically.
That's one of the reasons why I'm so anxious to find out what the Kings are doing, because it will tell us which lane they're choosing.
Path. Yeah.
I would think yours is the one you just described. I'm with you. That seems the most logical, but who knows? They may decide to basically run it back with the same core and just augment that core from last year. I hope not, but we don't know yet.
Right. I think if you, let's say you do make a trade, because there's the run it back path, there's the tank path, and there's two paths when it comes to trade. Trade for an established veteran or trade for a young player. If I had my druthers, it's trade for a young player.
Me too.
It's, because even if you get Jrue Holiday, are you really contenders in the Western Conference?
No.
And you gave up some assets, basically.
That's why I don't want to give up any young assets.
Right. I'm with you on that.
To me, Drapes, what the Kings need is sadly obvious. Sadly, SDDLY. They need shooting, depth, defense, length, and youth.
Hold on. Say that again. Let me.
What they need is sadly obvious. SDDLY. They need shooting, they need defense, they need depth, they need length, and they need youth.
Damn.
And that's what I'm using that's my that's my matrix I'm using. Any moves they make this year, do they address any of those needs? To me, those are the things they need. And again, a lot of that is based on what you're seeing the best teams in the NBA do right now.
Right. And the problem, the thing about it, I'm looking at a team like Minnesota. They need some of the same things.
They do.
And they're in the Western Conference Finals.
You're right.
So you're talking about a quarter of the league needs all those things.
That's true.
And so
the Kings need a lot of
it. They need a lot of it.
Yeah.
Like what I'm hoping Scott Perry does, I'm hoping he doesn't, because here's the thing. When it comes to a guy like Sam Presti, when it comes to Brad Stevens, some of the successful GMs over recent years, it's easy to go out there and say, oh, I want to get Giannis, or I want to get this guy. If I'm Scott Perry, I'm looking at the diamond in the rough. I'm looking at the girl in the corner nobody looking at. Oh, she got potential. He has potential in the right situation with us. And I'm talking about a young player. This guy can blossom.
Yeah, that's like a Moneyball move.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
While
everybody's chasing over there, I'm chasing the undervalued asset.
Yes. Yeah. And if you can do that, that's how you show you are smarter than everybody else.
Right. That's what, Brad Stevens did, getting Kristaps Porzingis. Porzingis was flaming out there in Dallas. Jrue Holiday, that was a thief move. Bringing back Al Horford. Remember, Al Horford struggled in Philly.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. From the 530, it'd be a recent Kings move to say Jrue will pair well with Levine and Domas and Monk, and it'd be better than Debo with that group, but not better enough. I believe they're going to do a version of Run It Back. So that's 530. I believe they're going to do a version of Run It Back. We don't know. We'll see.
We don't know. And I'll say this. I'm going on record. If they do run it back, it's not for lack of trying to make changes. Because I don't think Scott Perry took the job to be like, oh, we're okay.
Yeah, that's why I think we're going to hear a lot more rumors, because I think they are asking about a lot of things.
Right.
Just because they called so-and-so about that guy doesn't mean they're necessarily going to do it.
Yeah.
But I think we're going to hear them checking in on a lot of
everybody,
guys.
a lot of people out there.
Yeah. 3 things I wish were better about the Eastern Conference Finals. Next on Sacktown Sports.
Carmichael Dave here for my good friends at American Energy. As a native Sacramentan, I can tell you, not that you need to know, that it might be nice right now, but turn the corner and oh my God, it's so hot. Yeah, summer is coming. And my friends at American Energy want to make sure you are dialed with your AC unit. So how about this half off tune-up right now? It's a special going on, just $24.50 to get your air conditioner tuned up. A free diagnostic. And oh, by the way, if you need a new AC unit, up to $3,500 in rebates on qualifying system installations. That's right. They've been serving the greater Sacramento area since 1981. A+ with the Better Business Bureau. Give them a call, 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990. Here's the song.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
When you're young, life is full of choices. Don't let opioids like highly addictive and deadly fentanyl take away your life with just one wrong pill. Addiction is a disease that can affect anyone at any age. But there is a choice to get help for this disease. Find medically proven treatment options, including virtual, at choosemat.org.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation, an irregular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduced stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop taking prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. It may increase your stroke risk. Eliquis can cause serious and in rare cases fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop. A spinal injection while on Eliquis increases risk of blood clots, which may cause paralysis, the inability to move. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding, unusual bruising, or tingling, numbness, or muscle weakness. Medications such as aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners may increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
Check engine or ABS light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
William is one of millions of Americans who uses GoodRx to save on the cost of their prescriptions.
My oldest daughter, Camilla, 2 days old, she had to have open heart surgery. All of a sudden, she's on 5 different medications. It adds up at the end of the month. Me and the pharmacist got so tight. She said, GoodRx save you a lot of money. Saving that extra $200-300 a month. We're able to do all these extra activities, so it puts less stress on our household, and it puts less stress on our pockets.
Download the free app or visit GoodRx.com and start saving today. GoodRx user compensated for their time. GoodRx is not insurance, but can be used instead of insurance.
How can you free your team from time-consuming office tasks? Amazon Business. Smart business buying tools enable buyers to find and purchase items fast so they can focus on strategy and growth. Free up your teams and focus on your future. Learn more at amazonbusiness.com.
Live and local, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., Monday through Friday. Sacktown Sports.
You know, Draper was just saying how great it would be for the Kings, how beneficial it would be if they were able to go out and find some players that were undervalued and acquire them and give them larger roles and watch them flourish. And here we're watching, kind of some pregame stuff here for the Knicks and the Pacers. And Scott Perry did that with the Knicks, did he not? With a couple of players.
See, yes, that's the kind of guy we need.
So he did it with Brunson, and you could say he did that in bringing in Mitchell Robinson.
Who started last game, I believe. So he has an eye for talent, man. He does. I wonder too. A name we brought up earlier, RJ Barrett.
Yes,
remember he drafted RJ.
Yes.
We got to get into that too.
We're going to get to RJ Barrett. First, I want to tell you about this trade proposal because I found it.
Ooh, let me hear.
Heat trade proposal for DeMar DeRozan in offseason amid Kings trade rumors. This is Clutch Points. Bailey Bassett is the cat, okay? Bailey Bassett talks about why the Heat would want to do it, why the Kings would want to do it. Then he comes up with his actual proposal. Heat received DeMar DeRozan. Kings receive Terry Rozier and 2 second-round picks.
Oh, this is that one? I got to hear why he says the Kings would do that. I'm still trying to figure it out.
He doesn't exactly address that, as far as why they would do that. Necessary step in starting a rebuilding process. Starting over from scratch makes sense for the Kings. Western Conference is getting better and better. The team will likely need to reset before they can truly compete with their conference rivals. So, yeah, okay. I guess he thinks 2 seconds would just be too much to resist. Wow. What a terrible
That's a terrible trade. I mean, that's horrible. Who's this? Bailey what? Bailey Bassett? Somebody paying this guy for trade proposals like that. It's ridiculous.
That's not great.
You know what, Whitey? Let me pull it up here. Let me pull it up here. Because I do think if I was handicapping a potential trade team.
I think I know where you're going.
What you got? You got something?
No, I'm guessing.
The trade machine here.
Are you going Miami? Is that what you're saying?
Miami.
Yeah.
Now I'm trying to see. All right, if I'm the Kings, who would I want on this roster? And I'll be honest with you. You got to give up something of value. Mm-hmm. I don't want Terry Rozier is my guy, but the dude about to be kicked out of the league. I don't want that in 2 second-round picks. So let's say
you like Jaime Jaquez, don't you?
I like Jaquez a ton.
Duncan Robinson, do you like him?
I could use him as a 6-man, a guy off the bench. Sound like you might have already played with the trade machine before. So Jaime Jaquez and Duncan Robinson. Try this trade. Ooh, it failed.
Is there not enough coming back?
Yeah, not enough. Because Jaquez is on that rookie deal. He's only making $3 million. Let me see here. Who else could we get from Miami? So Jaime Jaquez, to me, would have to be included if I'm Sacramento.
They don't have a lot to trade.
So
right?
My Highsmith. You interested?
I like Highsmith. Good player, but he doesn't make that much money yet.
Yeah, he's $5 million. Let me see.
That's it. That's all I want. Khalil Ware, still a rookie.
Yeah.
But if you want to do the deal, you gotta take somebody back. Maybe that's where Scary Terry comes in.
Yeah. Let me see. Highsmith, Jaquez, and who was our other person? Duncan Robinson.
Yeah.
Let me see here.
Probably still not enough money.
This trade failed. Oh, the Heat are over the luxury tax threshold with this trade, and the incoming aggregate exceeds 125. Look, Jaquez has to be included. I'm sorry, Duncan Robinson, Highsmith, he has to be included. Talking about him, and I don't think they trade Khalil Ware. I think they're too high on him, right? I
would think so.
Yeah. All right, let me take off.
There ain't nothing else there.
Right.
Damn.
Right. Yeah, that's why it's a tough team.
Kevin Love? Oh, I got
Just
a guy.
to make it work?
I got a guy. Here you go, right here. This should work.
Didn't you say you were hanging out with Alonzo Mourning?
I was.
Yeah.
I can't. Zoe big time me though.
Really?
Yeah, he big time me. Because I walk up, I'm chopping it up with Zoe, introduce myself, and then like Cedric the Entertainer walked over. And so I was quickly like discarded. Like it was, yeah.
Oh, well.
Yeah. So I don't know what we're going to have to play with the trade machine, man. It's not working for me here.
All right.
I can't find a deal.
Well,
that's
it's tough. I think the trade machine's saying, hey, this is a tough
we
one.
may
I
have to
need more
throw
time.
something in too. Yeah. I don't know. But to me, Jaime Jaquez, I like him.
Yeah.
I think he's a solid player.
The trade that I couldn't get to work on the trade machine today is the one that your guy Paul Pierce suggested, which was DeMar DeRozan to Denver for Michael Porter Jr.
Really?
Yeah. With the finances and Denver's financial situation, it's tough.
Let me see.
Because of where they
DeRozan
are.
for Porter Jr.
Mm-hmm. I don't know why Denver would do that. With a guy like Jokic, you need perimeter shooting.
You need shooting.
Yeah. And I know Michael Porter Jr. wasn't great at times throughout the postseason, but he does give you the long-range shooting that DeMar DeRozan does not supply.
Yeah, it doesn't. I agree. I don't think it. Because here's the thing with Michael Porter. We got to take into account the dude was hurt.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I don't think they're willing to just, give unless they're getting a KD or somebody like that in return. I don't know if DeMar moves the needle enough for them.
I think they like their core too, what I was reading, and I agree with them. They feel like if they can, it's tough because their finances and their payroll, but if they can figure out a way to augment their base guys, their main players, they have a good core and they're not going to be around together that much longer.
Yeah.
I don't think you're as high on Denver as I am, but they had a good year.
They did have a good year. They really, surprised me and impressed me, especially in the postseason with some of their wins, beating the Clippers like they did and forcing a Game 7 with OKC. I would love to have Michael Porter Jr., but Is Keegan Murray our version of Michael Porter Jr.? Is that what we hope he turns into, but better defensively?
Yeah. That's the hope. He's never had that. Michael Porter has that. Yeah.
What is it?
It's not really a dog. It's just that he'll take the big shot and he'll knock it down.
Right. He's not. I got another trade here, Whitey, real quick here. I got another team because our boy Chris Forsberg out in Boston wrote about Dallas. Any chance we can get PJ Washington?
What is Dallas going to want back for him?
DeMar?
Would they?
I don't know. I don't know.
They're talking about adding. I saw that they're thinking of adding CP3.
Are they really?
I think it was Mark Stein. Mark Stein or Jake Fisher said it's a team to keep an eye on with Chris Paul. It's Dallas.
I mean, at this point, everybody can be kept an eye on.
Well,
like it's dead in the league, and so it's keep an eye on this team because we know one of these two pieces will probably be on the move.
Right. And you could say sources say this team might be looking at that guy.
That's right.
Who was that? I was just talking to some guy.
Right. Just some guy on the street or something like that. I don't know, man. I would be interested in a PJ Washington.
Sign me up.
Like him.
Yeah.
Sign me up.
I don't see it from Dallas's side.
I mean, they're a win now team, no doubt about it. They don't have that much young talent. They got a plethora of 5s and 4s at this point. They need a DeMar DeRozan type player.
Yeah.
They might be looking for someone a little younger though.
Yeah. I read somewhere today that they might try the 2 timeline approach that the Warriors tried. What exactly that means when it comes down to specifics, I'm not sure. Real quick here. I wanted to get to
sorry to cut you off. I do have a trade that's finally successful.
All right.
DeMar for PJ Washington and Jay's guy, Caleb Martin.
Sign me up.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, I love DeMar, but yeah, I'll ride with them to the airport if need be.
What do sources say about why Dallas would do that?
What does Bobby Mark say? Yeah.
You got Kyrie out. So you're going to need, ideally, DeMar would play the 2, maybe the 3, but you got a Cooper Flag coming in. So PJ Washington's minutes, he's going to be coming off the bench. So I don't know. You shake it up a little bit. And PJ, I believe, has 1 more year on his deal and then will be a free agent. So maybe you get somebody. I don't know.
When you look at the roster, the Kyrie injury sets them back in some form of fashion, right? And of course, he would set anyone back. But Clay, AD, they got Najee Marshall. They've got Max Christie. And I could see what you're saying, Whitey, where you've read they're going to play the 2-lane situation because the Max, the Najee, the Cooper Flag, those guys will be kind of ready to move on here as youngsters. They got OMAP, right? Don't they got Omax?
Olivia
Maxence.
Yeah.
It's interesting because Gafford's young, but he might be on the go.
Right.
So then you have some OGs too, and Lively.
Yeah. 2 timeline thing is you're trying to develop your young players while you're trying to win now.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's just hard because you can't always give the young players the minutes they need to develop when you're doing that. The Warriors, they pretended they pulled it off, but they didn't.
Yeah, and I think with Dallas, once Kyrie went down, scoring, they struggled scoring the basketball away. That's where DeMar helps them, I think.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Well, if they want to do it,
Yeah, you
let's
and
talk.
right.
One of the 3 have to go though, right? Meaning Lively, PJ, and or Gafford. Yeah, one of those have to go.
Yeah, I think Gafford and PJ have 1 year left each on their deal. So I got to imagine you would want to trade one of them at least.
Yeah, speaking of trade, should the Kings bust the bank for, I think this is a Drapes guy, RJ Barrett? We'll look at the RJ Barrett to the Kings talk when we come back to Sacktown Sports.
Get 5 quarts of Syntec Full Synthetic and a MicroGuard Select Oil Filter for just $32.99 at O'Reilly Auto Parts. In-store only, limit supply.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Everyone has a fave Wendy's Frosty flavor. And when you're choosing from chocolate or vanilla, it's not that hard. But now there's all new Frosty Swirls and Frosty Fusions. So try picking your fave from Oreo Brownie Fusion, Pop-Tarts Strawberry Fusion, Strawberry Swirl, Brownie Batter Swirl, Caramel Swirl, and Caramel Crunch Fusion. Not so easy now, huh? For a fresh way to Frosty, gotta be Wendy's.
Participating U.S. Wendy's. Oreo is a trademark of Mondelez International Group. Pop-Tarts is a trademark of Kellogg North America Co., LLC. Used with permission.
Check engine or ABS light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Hey everyone, it's Kyle Draper here. If you're in the market for a new car, let me tell you about my experience with Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. From the moment I walked into their state-of-the-art showroom, I knew I was making the right choice. There was no pressure from the sales staff, and if I'm being honest, I felt like a kid in a candy store. I settled on the all-electric EQS SUV, and let me tell you why. First of all, the comfort. After a long day at work, I actually look forward to being in my car. It has several different massage settings, including my favorite, hot relaxing back. Plus, the seat heating and cooling features are perfect for the hot summer or those chilly mornings. Mercedes-Benz has the reputation of making the finest cars in the world. Now it's your turn to experience what I already know. Mercedes-Benz of Stockton is the best car buying experience you'll ever have. They're just a short drive down I-5, or you can shop online anytime at mbofstockton.com. That's mbofstockton.com, and tell them Drape sent you.
Finally, an easy way to find home improvement contractors. Just visit subcontractorsunited.com and simplify your search for home services professionals. From cabinets to windows, roofing to plumbing, Subcontractors United is an easy, simple way to find and hire a home improvement contractor. And you never have to give up personal information. So no harassing phone calls like you get from those other websites. Subcontractorsunited.com is sponsored by D&D Cabinets and Savage Design.
What's going on? I'm talking to Chad Hoblet of Hoblet Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. Chad, tell me what's happening for Chrysler's Employee Pricing Plus event.
You get the perk of being an employee without all the work, plus a little extra Hoblet discount on top of what everyone else has when you save up to $20,000 off MSRP on new 2025 Jeep Wagoneer S.
Now, I remember you saying how much your wife likes the Wagoneers.
It's true, and they are really nice. I'm super excited to be able to help you save so much so you can have one of your own. Plus, you get to experience our award-winning customer service. And remember to check out the Hoblet Certified Pre-Owned Supercenter with nearly 200 vehicles available and over 50 under $20,000. Whatever you're looking for, Hoblet has it.
Search, select, and save through their whole inventory at HobletDodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet, period.
20,000 total net savings after 9,000 factory rebates and 11,000 dealer discounts, including employee pricing for all. Rebates may include 7,500 CDJ federal tax credit offered by third party and subject to change without notice. Consult a tax professional. 3 of this net savings. Sample VIN 6394. See dealer for details.
Your local sports leader in the 916.
KHD1 Sacramento. KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, Sacktown Sports 1140. Live and local, it's the Drive Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sacktown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sacktown Sports app.
I think it's incredible that 10 years ago or so, you had Oklahoma City Thunder playing in the Western Conference Finals, and then you had KD leave, one of the greatest players of all time, drafted by the Sonics, small market hero. He left. And when a guy of that magnitude leaves any franchise, let alone a small market team, there's like a crater that you got to fill. And here we are 9 years later, and they're knocking on the door of the finals again with a totally different unit. That's incredible. In fact, last night you had 95 points combined from Shea, Holmgren, and Jalen Williams. Most ever in franchise history by a trio in a playoff game. The old record was 2011 when Durant, Westbrook, and Harden combined for 94 points.
Wow, get out of here. Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's quite an organization they got there.
Quite an organization. And I'm looking at...
Not all NBA organizations have been as successful, Drapes.
Yes, 100% that. I'm looking at their timeline, Whitey, like they're, since trading Kevin Durant or, since Durant left, lost in the Western Conference Finals. First round. Then they hired Mark Daigneault. 22 wins, 24 wins.
And then
40 wins.
Yeah,
57.
Here they go.
They turned it around quickly, man. They had 2 arguably horrible seasons. And then bam.
Mm-hmm.
You saw them coming.
Yep.
They're like the Spurs now. We see the Spurs coming. We saw OKC coming, and here they are.
The Spurs, though, it sounds like they're thinking about adding that big name that OKC hasn't to this point.
Yeah.
And again, it's speculation. Who knows who the sources are, but there's talk that, the Spurs, they may be in on, they want to bring in Durant. Durant wants to go there, or maybe they want to make a move for Giannis. So it's a whole different approach. Whereas OKC, they handpicked, nurtured, and built their own stars. Obviously, Shea came in a trade, I know, but it's impressive. All right.
Well,
small market teams.
Yeah.
That's how you do it.
Well, what's frustrating about what OKC did, and give Sam Presti credit for the draft picks and everything, but then signing Hartenstein and then making a trade for Caruso.
Yeah.
I understand. All right, you got picks, but damn, how do you get Caruso and Hartenstein?
Mm-hmm.
2 veterans to help. So they were able to have their core of young guys and then add very impactful veterans.
Mm-hmm.
He hit on it big.
Yes. Real quick, 3 things I wish were better about the Western Conference Finals, and then we'll get to the RJ Barrett. Minnesota fans, you touched on the Stripes. I'm just so over them booing Shea every time he touches the ball. Free throw merchant, free throw merchant. If you're going to be booing anybody for that, you should be booing the officials. Shea's a great player. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Well, and here's the thing.
He didn't kick any of your players, do anything dirty. He's just a really good player who gets to the line. That's a good thing.
My boy Tom Habistro, I don't know if you follow him on social media. He released a video last night or this morning, I can't remember, about Shea has taken, I think, 110 or 120 free throws so far through his first 12 games or whatever it is. I think it's 110 through his first 12 games. You know where that ranks all time in the history?
Well, it must be number 1 because he's a free throw merchant.
400 and something. So the narrative is all he does is get to the line.
Right.
But in reality, there have been, I go back to Dwayne Wade when he won the title without LeBron in him. His first, remember, he got to the line like 23 times in the final game. And you look at the free throw numbers, I think the Knicks have shot more free throws than OKC in this series. And so there's this narrative out there, and Doris Burke perpetuates that. See, this is the problem, Whitey. I hate it. Because just because something is being talked about on social media doesn't mean that's what everybody's talking about.
Right. Yeah, to your point, last night, the Thunder 16 of 21 from the line. Minnesota was 22 of 28.
There you
Minnesota
go.
shot more free throws.
But the free throw merchant,
right?
Come on.
Yeah,
I'm
I don't know
tired
if
of it
she
too.
was trying to be, she was being sarcastic, but the second thing is, so that's the first thing. Second thing is, Doris needs to be better. All right. Last night, she struggled a little bit with that. She struggled with her whole World War II joke about France and Germany. Doris is better than that, and she needs to be better the rest of the way. And then the third and final thing, I watch Minnesota, and is Chris Finch okay? I mean, he's just the whole game. He's like, Dagnall at least is like, yes, let's do that.
Yeah,
There's almost a smile on his face.
Yeah.
And I know they're not out there. It's not a picnic or anything, but Chris Finch is like,
yeah, he got out coached last night.
I got to go see the proctologist.
Yeah. That's messed up.
Well, that's what it looks like.
Come on, man.
Come on, coach.
All right. Yeah, I know, right? Fire your boys up. I hear you on that.
Yeah, we'll see if this fires you up. Should the Kings
bust
the bank for RJ Barrett? Drapes is in.
I'm all in on RJ Barrett. And when you say bust the bank, what are we talking about?
Well, first we're talking about this. Back it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Beep, beep. This is from Chris Davis and Chris Davis Report. I don't know
who's this guy. Whitey, will you be finding some? Dude, you got to get off the For You page on Twitter. Go look at the following page. The For You page is.
That's where this all started. This was at Chris Davis Report. And he said, that's how the RJ Barrett ball started rolling. He said, Atlanta Hawks, Sacramento Kings, Chicago Bulls, San Antonio Spurs are all showing early interest that could intensify as the draft approaches. There's no H in there, Drapes. It's Chris Davis,
all right.
CRIS. He says that the Raptors are quietly exploring the market for RJ Barrett, which makes me wonder if they're doing it quietly, how do you know about it?
Right.
I don't even know who you are. But anyway,
man.
Yeah, that's what was reported. And we know Scott Perry drafted RJ Barrett, right?
He did.
So at least there's a connection there. Does RJ Barrett make sense for you? And I don't know. You asked the specifics. Well, what are we talking about? I don't know.
You don't know.
Yeah. But is that something you'd have a little interest in, no interest in, some interest in, or a lot of interest in?
I would have a lot of interest in RJ Barrett. And here's why. Set to be 25 coming up a little bit. So still young, still very young. 25 next month. 21 points, 6 rebounds, 5.4 assists. Shot 46.8 from the field, 35 from 3. This is a guy that can handle the rock, score for himself, and create for others off the dribble way. I could see a 2-3 pairing of him and Zach LaVine. I would go all in on RJ Barrett. I don't know what it would take.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm Toronto, what do I want that the Kings have?
Well, would DeMar be going north of the border again? Would he be part of this?
I couldn't see that happening. One, because they already got Brandon Ingram.
Mm-hmm.
And adding DeMar and Ingram, I don't think that fits. And two,
that's a good point.
I don't know if DeMar and Masai Ujiri, the Raptors president of basketball operations, see eye to eye. I think they had some beef.
Plus Drake and DeMar are not friends anymore.
Right. Drake would veto that. He'd give up his season tickets, Whitey. So,
and he's like, he plays some part in that organization, doesn't he? He's got like a legitimate role.
Does he really?
He's got something. And
what are you, an ambassador or something? Yeah, the player I like, but it's a pipe dream, big fella. It ain't happening. If we're talking for DeMar.
Mm-hmm.
Might be some other things that you can give up, but RJ Barrett, I'm a huge fan of.
Does he help me with my sadly formula? Shooting, defense, depth, length, youth. He's young, right?
I think he got some length also.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think, I'm looking up his wingspan real quick. 6'10" wingspan. I'll take that. Listed as 6'6" according to Basketball Reference.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll take that. So youth,
shooting, defense, depth, length, and youth. So defensively, I think he's better.
He's better. Right. I mean, he's no lockdown or anything like that, but I think he's a player.
Could he be a potential centerpiece going forward? Could he be one of those guys you bring in and then he's here and maybe he is even better than anyone thinks? Is that potential? Is that one of the reasons you would pursue him?
Well,
I'm talking about like a Brunson, one of those undervalued guys that comes,
that takes the lead,
and then we've got our
all-star
guy,
superstar.
No one else even knew he was going to be a guy.
To me, I think RJ Barrett is a really good number 2. I don't know if he can be the number 1. I got his numbers right here, Whitey, in Toronto. For his career, he's been great for his career. 18.8 points per game, 34.6 from three. I'd like it a little higher. But last year, not this season, the first season in Toronto, 39.2% from 3.
Wow. What was he in? I apologize if you just said. Was he the 5th pick?
Yeah, RJ Barrett. Yeah, he came out with Zion and those guys, right? 3rd overall pick.
3rd. So it was Zion and Ja.
And then RJ, I believe. Yes, yes. So, yeah, I'm all in.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm Toronto, I'm not doing it. I don't think we have the assets that they would want. And why would they want to move off of him? I think they got a pretty good big 3 in RJ, Scotty Barnes, and Ingram.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty solid.
Yeah, we'll take a closer look at that. Also, tell you the one thing all the Kings trade talk does suggest when we come back to Sacktown Sports.
Memorial Day savings explode at Maida's Elk Grove Chevy. Save $12,500 off MSRP after rebates. Every new 2025 Silverado Turbo Max in stock. And Maida Chevy has similar savings on every new Silverado. One of the largest selections of new Silverado in the Sacramento area. $12,500 off new Silverado. Exclusively at the Maida Chevy Silverado Supercenter. Now that's big, huge. See them all at MaidaChevy.com. Together, let's drive.
2011 not available with special financing, lease, and some other offers.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9861. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-9861. That's 800-575-9861. Tax Relief Advocates, real solutions for real people.
Come check out Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room with the most variety of table games in the region in a safe and friendly environment. Plenty of well-lit parking available, conveniently located in downtown Sacramento. And remember, Capital Casino has the best food, the best service, and the best action. 411 North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento. For more information, log on to capital-casino.com, and please gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
I heard you on the wireless back in 52. Lying awake intently tuning in on you.
The only station in Sacramento giving you local sports coverage from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. Sacktown Sports.
Before we get back to the Kings conversation, if I may, big movie weekend, biggest Memorial Day weekend box office ever. We saw 2 movies straight. We haven't been to the movies in years. Saw 2 movies.
Two movies?
Yeah, we saw Mission Impossible last week. It was really good. And then we saw another one over the weekend that my mother-in-law said was the best movie she has ever seen. Now, she's only been to 4 movies.
Got to get her out a little more.
Right?
She doesn't go to a lot of movies.
E.T.? You know, what you got?
So we saw, because it was my nephew's birthday, Sheena's nephew's birthday. What do you want to go see for your birthday? He wanted to see Lilo and Stitch. We went. My mother-in-law said, I'm not going. We said, well, yeah, come on. Okay. She said, it's the best movie I've ever seen. So the only other movies she's seen is like a kung fu movie, some international movie, and a religious movie. But she said, that's the best movie I've ever seen. So there you go.
Really? All right, man. I have to check it out.
Big Mission Impossible is really good. It's fun.
Was it good?
The last one, supposedly with Tom Cruise. Yeah, we'll see about that. You know, he's a big Mission Impossible fan. He's sitting right behind you. Yeah.
Are you really, Jay?
Yeah. I'm a huge action film guy, so I like MI. I've seen all of them.
We decided we're going to go back and watch all of them. I don't know if we'll make it, but we watched Mission Impossible 1.
Oof.
And that's the one that has a guy that looks like Vlade in it.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
John Reno or whatever his name is. Yeah, he's
Mm-hmm.
a helicopter pilot in the tunnel. It's like, hey, Vlade.
I think I only saw that one, the first one.
Man, some of those scenes are crazy, Drapes. Don't waste your time.
Don't waste my time?
Yeah, I mean, and for you, you know, where it's already hard for you to sit down and watch movies. Yeah. There's way better movies to sit down and watch.
Jay. All right.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Tom Cruise still says he does all his own stunts, and there's stunts.
Really?
Airplanes. He's hanging onto an airplane.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I saw that. He's hanging off from an airplane.
He's got to have a parachute on just in case, Jay. He's got to.
He should have 3 on.
He probably does.
Yeah. But, I mean, how unsafe is that?
Very.
I've seen
but
it.
They must have them like stapled to the plane.
Yeah.
You know, you can't see it when you're watching the movie, but he
Right.
must be strapped, and they probably have a way of editing out all the straps. And then just in case, you've got 7 parachutes.
Of course. You ain't lying. And you're only going up 1,000 feet and it looks like it's going up.
Yeah,
I've seen the video. I'm like, no, man. I don't know if that's believable.
So anyway, big.
All right.
Big
I'm
movie
looking
Don't
for
waste
some
your time.
movies.
Don't waste your time.
I
But
don't
you
see
like
it.
the movies,
I
Jay.
do, but I'm saying for someone, it's like your mother-in-law. I wouldn't tell her to sit down and watch Mission Impossible if she doesn't watch that many movies anyway. You know, Drapes can't even get the greatest movie ever. What's the greatest movie ever? You know, whatever you would Gone with the Wind, whatever you would call it.
You know what? I used to watch movies though,
man.
Like you know what brand genre I used to be. I was a big Clint Eastwood guy.
Really?
Okay.
Yeah, for a few dollars more, fistful of dollars.
Good, bad,
Westerns. Yeah. I was into that a lot, and obviously the Godfathers trilogies. But
that's classic cinema.
Yeah, that's
exactly.
But in the last 20 years of my life, I couldn't tell you. You know,
when last time been to the theater, Drake?
I went a few months ago. It's been a few.
What'd you watch?
I don't even remember.
With the kids?
I don't even remember.
You just took the kids, walked out, and said, "I'm out."
I have no idea. Yeah, I don't even know.
What's the last movie you remember going to the theater and watching?
There was one I just saw. And I can't.
Yeah, can't remember that.
I'm checked out, big fella. I'm not. And my issue is over the last 20 to 30 years, I only watch a movie once, unless it's a classic like Fistful of Dollars, something like that. But I don't sit around and rewatch movies or anything like that. So I'm looking now. I feel like, honestly, fellas, the movie game might be kind of slipping lately.
It is.
That's why it was such a big weekend. I mean, the box office was the biggest ever for the holiday weekend. So, you know, what do we care?
What was the number one? Mission Impossible was the
Lilo and Stitch was number one because it got all the kids.
All the
children,
kids,
yeah.
But listen up, Lilo and Stitch.
Yeah, best movie ever according to my.
But that's been around for 30 years.
Well, this is part like 2 or 3 or something.
That's what
right?
I'm making a point. Mission Impossible.
Yeah.
Been around for 30 years. Final Destination.
Sequel. Yeah.
Been around.
Part 6.
You know what I mean? Like, where the new stuff?
Good luck.
Like,
it's like music too.
All right. I'm really looking forward to going to movies this week, but there's nothing out that I want to see.
Well, then don't go.
I miss Sinners.
Recommend Accountant 2 from the 916.
Hey, have you seen one?
No,
you should see one.
I wouldn't be able to follow.
That was good.
My wife loves The Accountant to the point to where it's like, okay, it's a good movie, but it ain't that good. But it's
Ben
a great
Affleck,
story.
right?
Yeah, it is. It's a good story. 2 seems like it's spot on.
When that come out? Friday?
No, it came out a couple weeks ago, like maybe the April 25th.
Man, I'm missing out.
Karate Kid, Happy Gilmore 2, Superman.
That's what I'm saying.
Like some good ones.
Karate Kid. I don't need to see
Part
Mr.
58,
Miyagi anymore. Daniel's son. Come on now.
But it's a new one, man. Come on. It's Jackie Chan and
You know it's never as good as back in the day.
I know, but I'm trying to help you.
I'm literally want to go to the movies this week. Like, seriously.
Go see Thunderbolts.
What is that?
It's a new Avengers.
Marvel thing or something?
Yeah. The new Avengers.
You got to be into
Mission
that
Impossible.
stuff. Yeah.
Nah, I'm not a.
Okay.
It's
What do you
already
like?
played out. But it's how can it be from Mission Impossible 1, 2, 3, 4? And
This is the last one. You know, I don't want to say anything. He might not make it. You never know.
His son will come along and carry on the torch or something like that. Come on, man.
You never know.
All right. I'll let you guys know what I wind up.
You ain't going, man. Don't waste your time.
You right?
Don't force yourself.
Do you have a favorite basketball movie ever? Maybe you don't.
Basketball movie.
Yes, I do. The Fish That Saved Pittsburgh.
Okay.
I'm going back. Why do you know all about that?
Yeah.
My boy Julius the Dr. Irving.
Yep. Yeah.
That was a great one.
Mm-hmm.
How about you? You got one?
He Got Game.
That was all right. How about Blue Chips?
I've never actually seen that.
What?
Oh,
Nick
come
Nolte,
on.
right?
Shaq,
I think
Penny.
I've seen parts of it. I've never seen all of it.
Dude, that's recommended viewing right there.
But I've never seen all of Hoosiers.
Really?
You ain't missing that.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't think I've ever
Jerry's
seen
not
the
listening.
Hoosiers.
Really?
like
Okay.
that.
I hope Jerry's not listening.
And come on.
Yeah.
That team.
Coach
whatever.
Carter was pretty good.
Coach Carter. What about Hustle? The Adam Sandler one.
It was
I
okay.
haven't seen that
That
yet.
was good.
Yeah.
That was actually pretty good.
That was cool.
That was a good
It was
one.
because it was closer
KG in
to
that?
KG. No, KG is the Gems.
Okay. Right.
This one was with Anthony
Herman.
Edwards.
Yeah. Yeah. He
and
was
Willie
Kermit.
Hernan Gomez.
Yeah, Herman Gomez. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
There was a bunch of guys in there. And the one thing about Hustle, it's closer to reality.
Right.
Yeah, it's a little closer to reality.
That was a good one.
Adam Sandler apparently is working on a movie about card collecting and card selling. Big money.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You know, as I'm sitting here, I looked. This might sound, there's not that many good basketball movies.
No.
Oh, that sounds like a D-lister. We may have to rank it this summer.
Because I'm sitting there looking at them.
I mean, if you like the Space Jams, but
yeah. The second one was atrocious.
Mm-hmm.
Which one?
Space Jam.
With LeBron? Come on, man. Don't be
You better stop it.
disrespecting
Even
LeBron.
LeBron said that thing wasn't good. He was like, yeah, you know what? Wasn't my best.
Oh, man.
Okay, here goes a quick couple of them real fast, White. I know you got something. He got Game, one of the better ones, right? No doubt. Jesus Shuttleworth. Loving basketball. Love a lot of people like it. Like Mike. There's nothing there. It's Bow Wow and company, right? Hoosiers, highly overrated.
Yeah.
White Man Can't Jump.
Oh, that could be number one. That could be up there. That's
okay.
top 5.
Above the Rim.
That was a good one.
I
give you that.
I like Blue Chips.
Blue Chips.
The Sixth Man with Sean Waynes.
Nah.
This is one of my favorite ones. I'm not saying it's absolute great cinema, but The Air Up There.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I
Basketball, Celtic Pride, Air Bud.
How about Eddie?
That was whack.
All right. Whoopi Goldberg. Come on, bro.
I think the Kings are in that. I think Vlade might be in that movie.
Which one?
Eddie.
Eddie.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Doug is in it. Coach Christie.
Okay.
Is he really?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, Sunset Park, Finding Forrester.
Sunset Park was a basketball movie?
Yeah, because the young man was a hooper.
Finding Forrester's a good movie.
Yeah,
it's a little about basketball. There's a movie, I think it's called How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days.
Yeah. Is that a basketball one?
It's either that one or he's just not that into you. One of those two movies, the Knicks play the Kings in the finals.
Oh, yeah. That's
fantasy.
Yeah,
Come on, man.
Science fiction. Yeah, that's fiction for sure.
Yeah.
There's some bad basketball movies.
Oh, yeah. There's bad movies about everything.
Well, yeah, but I mean, I feel like there's better baseball and football movies. Joanna, man.
No, come on, Jay. Come on, man. Come on.
Hey, I'm throwing them out there.
Joanna, man. I'm looking here. Oh, man, there ain't many good ones.
Nah, literally. The best one is Hoop Dreams, about the documentary.
Yeah, that was great. Yeah, Hoop
was
Dreams
dope.
was good.
Air, I haven't seen Air. Have you guys seen Air?
I haven't seen it.
Yeah, I mean, there's not the heart of the game.
Yeah.
I don't remember that. The Wayback.
The Wayback.
Yes, I mean,
it's How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. The Knicks and Kings play a 7-game NBA final series, and I don't know that they ever say who actually wins.
Damn.
Yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Find out how they built that team. You know what I mean? Like, how they build that roster out.
Who's the director or the creator or the writer on that movie? Can you find that? We might have to get them on. Give us a little look.
I know, right?
Yeah, I will have to get that for you. Oh, we also have some semi-pro gets mentioned, which was
that was
fun.
funny.
ABA
Semi-pro was
Coach
funny.
Carter. Yeah. Ramsey says Hoop Streams is a great basketball movie.
it
A
was.
couple mentions for Coach Carter, which was Richmond High.
Right.
And,
Whalers, right? Yeah.
So Teen Wolf.
Teen Wolf.
Dog, you can't laugh at Teen Wolf.
Wolf, man.
Michael J. Fox. Whitey.
Yeah.
That was a classic.
Is it a basketball movie? I mean, there's basketball in it. I just didn't expect you to say it. That's why.
No, somebody put it on the text line.
Just
Teen
right.
Wolf.
Just right with Common and Queen Latifah.
Okay.
White Man Can't Jump lost me because I think it's Marcus Johnson and somebody, and they lose to Woody Harrelson and Wesley Snipes.
And you're like, there's
2
no
on
way.
2.
Right.
Like, I'm out. I've seen enough. Enjoy the rest of the movie.
Yeah.
Thunderstruck. About
don't know that
OKC, Kevin Durant.
I don't know that one. Yeah, I haven't seen
there's
that.
some terrible basketball movies.
I know.
There are some. Rebound with Martin.
I don't even remember that one.
The crossover with Nick Cannon.
Nah.
What about the one?
It was straight to DVD.
I've never seen it, but Uncle Drew, was that good?
What, Kyrie's? I didn't see that
Weber
one.
and it's okay.
Yeah.
It's kidding.
I didn't see it.
Who's the ball, Kobe?
Yeah, Lisa Leslie,
Uh-huh.
Shaq. I mean,
Okay.
All right.
you ain't missing nothing.
339-1140, 1-800.
That was painful, that segment.
1140. When we come back, not everybody's in on RJ Barrett, Drapes.
Yeah, I want to hear what people say
Sacktown
about
Sports.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Fidium Fiber.
I'm meteorologist Heather Waldman in the KCRA3 Weather Center. A stronger Delta breeze on Wednesday will cool off much of the valley. Afternoon temperatures will be in the mid-80s. Morning temperatures starting in the mid-50s with a gusty breeze in the evening. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA News and the KCRA app.
It's about time they
fix that pothole.
Invented better windshield wipers.
made an internet that just works. Fidium Fiber Internet, starting at only $30 a month. It feels like Fidium. Offer available to residential customers only. Terms and conditions apply. See Fidium.com for details.
Barbecue season is back.
Hey, it's Ellen.
And this is Sarah Beth.
And a little thing we love about the Chick-fil-A Smokehouse Barbecue Bacon Sandwich is that zesty barbecue sauce. I love that it was a little sweet, a little tangy, and with the mac and cheese.
I feel like I tasted the brown sugar bacon first. It was the absolute best combination. Pro tip, 3 sandwiches are always better than 1.
Order the Smokehouse Barbecue Bacon Sandwich and our Coca-Cola on the Chick-fil-A app for a limited time. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
Now more than ever, Lowe's knows you don't just want a low price, you want the lowest price. And with our lowest price guarantee, you can count on us for competitive prices on all your home improvement projects. If you find a qualifying lower price somewhere else on the same item, we'll match it. Lowe's, we help, you save. Price match applies the same item. Current price at qualifying retailers. Exclusions and terms apply. Learn how we'll match price at Lowe's.com/lowest price guarantee.
Carmichael Dave here for my good friends at American Energy. As a native Sacramentan, I can tell you, not that you need to know, that it might be nice right now, but turn the corner and oh my God, it's so hot. Yeah, you know, summer is coming. And my friends at American Energy want to make sure you are dialed with your AC unit. So how about this? Half off tune-up right now. It's a special going on, just $24.50 to get your air conditioner tuned up. A free diagnostic. And oh, by the way, if you need a new AC unit, up to $3,500 in rebates on qualifying system installations. That's right. They've been serving the greater Sacramento area since 1981. A+ with the Better Business Bureau. Give them a call, 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990. Here's the song.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Thy ticket, Lady Jennifer of Coolidge.
Well, many thanks, good sir. Hereeth my Discover card.
They accept Discover at Renaissance fairs?
Yeah, they do here. Discover is accepted at the places I love to shop. Getteth with the times.
With the times?
You're playing the lute. Yeah, and it sounds pretty good, right?
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways to get rid of your timeshare. Call now and get this timeshare cancellation guide absolutely free.
Call 800-837-5050. That's 800-837-5050. 800-837-5050.
The Memorial Day Race to Savings is on. Get the best deals of the season at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Looking to own or lease? During the Memorial Day Race to Savings, drive a brand new Accord or Civic. Visit us today at FolsomLakeHonda.com, your one-stop Honda shop.
As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
Whitey here for Napoleon Grills, reminding you that when buying a new grill, every detail matters. While supplies last, you'll receive a $149 gift with purchase on every new Napoleon Prestige stainless steel grill. The kit even includes a pizza lover starter kit and much more. And now up to $79 off Napoleon Rogue models. Napoleon grills are built different, built better, built to last, with a lifetime warranty and premium steel that boasts amazing quality. Visit Green Acres Nursery today for your best selection of Napoleon grills and accessories.
Live and local, it's the Drive Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sacktown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sacktown Sports app.
Get ready for the Eastern Conference Finals to resume. Knicks and Pacers. Aaron Nesmith at last report, is going to play tonight. We'll see if the Knicks can turn this upside-down series right side up again, Drapes, and see if they can't regain home court disadvantage.
I know, right? They've been struggling at the Garden.
Yeah.
Can't get a W
The
there.
home teams are struggling throughout the series. 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Drapes is all in on potentially on an RJ Barrett move. If the Kings were to make that. He's not saying you'd give up anything to get him,
right?
But he's definitely high on that. Some people are with him, some are not. Before we get to that, let's see what your boy Mitch has for us on Sack Down Sports. Mitch, what's up? Thanks for hanging. What can we do for you? All right.
Good try. Good job, Mitch.
Sorry about that.
Caller of the day.
Yeah, we were unable to reach Mitch. Yeah. We have this from the 916. RJ Barrett reminds me of Markelle Fultz, another failed high draft pick coming to Sacramento to repair his image. All pass, Drapes. All pass.
See, this is I don't know if I could do this all summer, Whitey.
I already have Markelle Fultz, Drapes. All pass.
What? Is RJ Barrett is that? What are we doing here?
I think RJ Barrett's still a little better than
I think he's been A-okay for his career. Just look at the numbers.
Failed high draft pick, Drapes. I'll pass.
I'll say this. If we got RJ Barrett, he would arguably be, not including our new guys, I'm talking going into this year. Fox, Sabonis, because be our fourth best player in the last 20 years.
RJ Barrett?
Last 20, I'm saying not including. Sabonis, Fox, and Big Cuz.
Wow.
Better than Rudy Gay, better than Zebo. Hallie? Hallie wasn't here long enough. No, he was only, Halliburton's better right now, but I'm talking in the Sacramento Kings uniform.
That's a bold statement right there.
Dude, I pull the receipts. Give me somebody that played in Sacramento at the time. RJ Barrett is a hell of a player. I don't know what this guy, where was he from? 209?
This is 916.
Oh, all right. I know, because I know people in Stockton and Modesto wouldn't be saying that kind of nonsense.
925 asking here. Keegan for RJ Barrett straight up?
No, I want them both. I like them both. I think they could complement each other, actually. I like Keegan and RJ Barrett together.
From the 916, this is for me. I said I had the sadly shooting, defense, depth, length, and youth. Why do you need the A in there? Athleticism.
Yeah,
I could do that.
You didn't have that in there? Oh, yeah.
Sadly, yeah. Shooting, athleticism, defense, depth, length, and youth. There we go. Send it off to Scott Perry. 530. Okay, you guys convinced me. I'm all in on RJ Barrett, but what do we have to give up for him? Any idea, Drapes? You just don't think it's going to happen?
No, because I don't think we have the assets that Toronto wants unless we're attaching a pick or two to a guy like RJ Barrett. RJ Barrett's a hell of a player, but I don't think we have the current players that Toronto wants. We're not giving up Keegan, Zach LaVine. That's a wash, in my opinion.
Does RJ's below average defense concern you with the Kings team struggling in defense? And then from the 916, RJ, this is another person who's not a big RJ fan. RJ couldn't carry his weight on the Knicks, hasn't done anything on the Raptors, and he's going to come here and be different? Yeah, right.
Kings fans got to wake the hell up, Whitey. I'm getting tired of this. They shoot down every person that we bring up. I've mentioned Ja Morant. I don't want Ja. He's got this. Zion Williamson. I don't want Zion. Trae Young. He don't play no defense. Damn it, Kings fans. We trying to upgrade the talent here. And I'm not saying trade the farm away from RJ Barrett. I'm talking about a young guy entering his prime, 25 years old, who's actually had a pretty solid career so far. We're trying to move the needle. Give me an answer, Kings fans. Somebody from the 916 or 209 or wherever. You tell me who you want then. Go out there and get Giannis. Come on now. What are we doing? These are realistic guys that can improve the roster.
209 is weighed in, Trace. 209 is weighed in. Drapes, you mean to tell me that the Kings don't have an empty Gatorade jug they can spare for RJ Barrett? Because that's about what he's worth.
What are we doing here? That is ridiculous. That is awful. That take is the worst of the day right there.
I think fans are just trying to get under your skin a little bit now. I think they're just.
You could argue RJ Barrett comes here right now. He's our second best player. He is so versatile. People don't understand. He's so handle the rock, facilitate, clutch, create for others. Like he's first team all Drapes.
If there's any truth to that, there's no way the Kings would get him then, right?
That's what I'm telling you. Kings ain't getting him. We just discussing here. I'm just talking about the player.
Yeah.
But in terms of we don't have the assets to get RJ Barrett.
We're discussing it because at Chris Davis suggested on X, quote, the Raptors are quietly assessing trade possibilities for RJ Barrett, league sources state. Apparently, if they're doing it, it's not that quiet. If we're hearing about
if
we're hearing about it in
I don't know where he's from.
And talking about it on the radio, I don't think it's that quiet.
Yes.
Chris Davis. So again, that's one of those things like we don't even know who the sources are. We don't know if there's any truth to it. But the report says that, as we mentioned earlier, Hawks, Kings, Bulls, Spurs, all showing early interest. That could intensify as the draft approaches. It would make sense. It's got here at some point. We go, hey, Masai, where are you guys with RJ Barrett? I love RJ Barrett, right? That doesn't mean it's going to happen, but it would make sense that, again, that Scott Perry's calling everybody about everybody. Just to get an idea. What's out there? Who's available?
I'm so flabbergasted at how negative people are for RJ Barrett. These are people who actually haven't watched the game, Whitey. These are people who haven't. I'm sorry. And if you have, I apologize. But the eye test, I already got the numbers to back it up. But the eye test, when I see this guy play, RJ Barrett busted our butts this past season.
He did. Campy, and by the way, Campy has been just so excited that you're back today. So he's definitely in your corner. But you asked, well, who do you want? Campy says, I want young players from the draft. Now, it's tough to do when you're picking in
that's awful, Campy.
Second round.
That's terrible.
I think it's a great idea. It's just hard to pull off when you're picking 42nd.
You know what Campy is? That suggestion, Whitey. This Campy, we're gonna golf someday. Not tomorrow, not anytime soon, but someday we're gonna golf. Your suggestion, I want players from the draft, is like me saying, here's $100,000. You're like, no, I want to play the Powerball. There's no guarantee you can hit.
Wayne Mulholland says young. What kind of players does he want? Young and taller than 6'6". See, that goes back to my formula: youth and length.
All right, I got some Bobo. Fits that? You want Bobo?
Nope.
Okay, then what are we talking about? But like, there's different levels.
I know. I understand your point.
But I'm saying, like, young and over 6'6". The problem is, we're talking about. There's a lot of young players over 6'6" that can't play basketball, that can't do what RJ Barrett. Hell, if Keegan Murray turned into RJ Barrett, I think we take that, to be honest with you.
Katie points out Jokic was the 41st pick, LOL. I know that, but there's probably not a Jokic available in the second round this year. You think that's safe to say? Or ever.
Right. Jokic. That's like a once in a generation, kind of. That's the problem, Whitey. The draft is a crapshoot. There's no guarantees. RJ Barrett, and I'm not saying this is the move or anything, but in terms of the player, if we drafted somebody that had the career RJ Barrett had, that's a hit, in my opinion.
What you said is so true. I think it's more true than ever with younger players coming out now and players from overseas. You can't really gauge how good they are based on the competition they play against. We talked about this last week, Drapes. If you look at that 2020 draft, and I know we do this all the time with drafts, but how Halliburton went 12th, I still have no idea. When you look at some of the guys that were taken ahead of him, it is mind-boggling.
Well, the problem is, Whitey, everybody thinks they're a genius talking about these GMs. Everybody thinks they found the diamond in the rough, or I'm looking at that 2020 draft. Whew.
We got Killian Hayes in there.
Killian Hayes, Patrick Williams, who's okay.
Yeah.
Isaac Okoro can't even get off the bench right now. Jalen Smith. Matter of fact, I was talking to some Phoenix Suns fans down in Palm Springs the other day. They were like, man, we wish we would have drafted Tyrese Halliburton. They wanted him in Phoenix, but they drafted Jalen Smith, who's okay, but a lot of teams missed on him.
Mm-hmm. All right, we'll put it aside for a moment here because this is for Drapes. We haven't talked about the tush push yet. We may or may not get to that. Brock Purdy says he's a top 10 quarterback. Pro Football Focus says not quite. We'll look at that next on Sacktown Sports.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Fidium Fiber.
I'm meteorologist Heather Waldman in the KCRA3 Weather Center. A stronger Delta breeze on Wednesday will cool off much of the valley. Afternoon temperatures will be in the mid-80s. Morning temperatures starting in the mid-50s with a gusty breeze in the evening. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA News and the KCRA app.
It's about time they
Fix that pothole.
Invented better windshield wipers.
made an internet that just works. Fidium Fiber Internet, starting at only $30 a month. It feels like Fidium. Offer available to residential customers only. Terms and conditions apply. See Fidium.com for details.
Here at the Almond Joy Factory, where tropical vibes abound, we use soft, fresh-tasting coconut.
The crunchiest almonds and delicious chocolate candy.
But do you know what our most important ingredient is? Sometimes you feel like a nut.
Sometimes you don't.
Almond Joy's got nuts and something even way better than that. Yes, Almond Joy is made with almonds and joy.
Get 5 quarts of Syntec Full Synthetic and a MicroGuard Select Oil Filter for just $32.99 at O'Reilly Auto Parts. In-store only, limit supply.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Go from daydreamer to industry leader with Amazon Business. From office supplies to IT essentials, Amazon Business provides tools that help you save costs and make insight-based decisions. Learn how to bring your visions to life at AmazonBusiness.com.
This Memorial Day, grab the keys to a new ride during Toyota's Summer Starts Here sales event. Right now, get a low-cost lease on the 2025 Prius. Sleek, efficient, and with impressive MPG, it's perfect for long weekend road trips or the daily hustle and bustle. Or shop great deals on 17 Toyota hybrid models from the longest-lasting brand on the road. Plus, every new Toyota comes with Toyota Care, a 2-year complimentary scheduled maintenance plan. Toyota's Summer Starts Here sales event ends soon. Toyota, let's go places. Offer available through TFS to buyers with premium rated credit. Offers end 6/2/25.
Trey Songz, live. All the hits, all in one night. Trey Songz. Friday, June 20th, the venue at Thunder Valley. With special guest, Jeremiah. For tickets, visit ThunderValleyResort.com and see the show. Trey Songz, Friday, June 20th, the venue at Thunder Valley.
I remember as if it were yesterday. I reached down to move a nightstand and was astonished at the weight of the piece. Hi, this is Frank LaRosa with a word about Naturewood Home Furnishings. At that moment, I instantly recognized the difference between Naturewood's quality furniture that will last a lifetime versus lesser quality furniture found elsewhere. Now, I suppose there's a huge difference in what you'd put in your first apartment and what you would live with in the comfort of your own home. Right now, Naturewood Home Furnishings Made in USA sale is a great time to fill your home with solid, superior quality furniture to reflect your own love for life. With brands like Sam Moore, Stanton, Stickley, Hilltop Hickory, Simply Amish, and many more, Naturewood Home Furnishings has tables, chairs, couches, and, yes, nightstands, and more at their Made in USA sale. Find furniture that will be with you forever. Naturewood Home Furnishings, off Highway 50 at Hazel. Look for the water wheel.
Live and local, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., Monday through Friday. Sacktown Sports.
Kyle Draper is back, and he's not happy with people who don't think much of RJ Barrett. We've just been talking about potential Kings deals.
Yeah.
What about Jrue Holiday? Maybe, but it's probably not going to happen. What about RJ Barrett? That's probably not going to happen either. But we have a divide, a split between Kyle Draper and between a lot of Kings fans who say they would rather get someone younger. They'd rather go focus on the draft and bring in an RJ Barrett. That's where we are, right, Drapes?
Here's the thing.
DeRozan in 2 seconds for Barrett, says a 970. There are a number of people that are pro RJ Barrett.
Well, I'll say this. If you look at the Kings draft history, let's just go back to De'Aaron Fox. Hold up, Whitey. Hold up. I'm going to let you get that one off in a second. Let me make this point. outside of Halliburton, RJ Barrett would be our best draft pick since De'Aaron Fox. Like, what are we so I'm hearing Compio and all these people say we'd rather try our hands in the draft. You got a 25-year-old 20-plus point per game scorer, and you guys are telling me no? Who are we? We're hoping Keegan puts up numbers like this. We're hoping draft picks turn into RJ Barrett. But now RJ Barrett is not good enough for us?
Speaking of the draft, the Kings did work out Friday another guy who's expected to go in the first round.
Who you got?
Now he has decided he's going back to school. So I don't think they're going to be able to draft him.
You got too many papers over there, man.
No, I don't have too many papers. I just don't have
what
you need. I don't have what I need written down on any of them. Yeah.
But yeah,
6'7" forward. Anyway, it's just interesting that they worked out a guy that, again, well, he won't be there when you pick. So that's the only reason I bring it up. To your point, are they thinking of moving back up into the first
I think
round?
so. I think what that signals is if there's somebody they like, maybe it might not be a lottery pick. It could be a 18, 22. If there's somebody that jumps off the charts, maybe they would swing and try to move up to get him.
That's at least two guys that we know of.
Yeah.
That they have talked to that are expected to go before they pick.
I mean, that's doing your due diligence. You know, just because you don't have a pick, Scott Perry and the Kings, don't just ignore guys. What if there's somebody you absolutely fall in love with during a workout, but you don't have a first rounder? Hell, make a move. Go up there and get him. You know?
Yeah.
Who's your guy? You got him yet? Who they worked out?
Where are you?
Oh, you're going to, no, he might be off. Did you say he's going back?
Oh, yeah. They took him out. That's right.
Yeah, they took him.
Yeah, thank you.
RJ Barrett, real quick. To me, RJ Barrett is a good player. Oh, somebody from the 916. Drapes, the same things you're saying about RJ is the same thing you said about Zach LaVine.
Here's our guy, by the way. Yaxel Lendeborg.
But he's going back.
They were bringing him in. I think they brought him in Friday, but he's going
back to
school. Yeah. So anyway, but the point is, wow, they're working out guys, at least two guys, that probably are not going to be there when they pick in the second round. Does that mean they're going to move up? I don't know.
But, and this is something I raised, a few weeks ago. That could be an option if I'm Scott Perry. Don't have to be a lottery pick. Why not 18, 19, 20, 21?
Yeah.
May not have to cost a lot to get back into the first round.
I like younger. That's what I like about RJ Barrett. I mean, he's young.
25.
Yeah.
Come on, Whitey. Give me that every day of the week. And, the 916 saying, I said the same. Zach LaVine's a damn good player. RJ Barrett's a damn good player. Like, now, if you're talking about only going for home runs, we could have that conversation. But you can't tell me, listeners, Kings fans out there, I'd rather try my hand in the draft. What have we drafted outside of Halliburton? Keegan Murray. I like Keegan.
Right.
RJ Barrett's a better.
Scott Perry running the show now.
RJ Barrett's a better player than Keegan Murray. I'm sorry.
I would rather have Keegan, but I understand your point. RJ Barrett scores more.
He's had a better career than Keegan Murray. RJ Barrett averaged 27 points per game against us this season in the 2 games.
Well, you and I would have averaged at least 17.
I'm just saying. I'm not going to talk too much more about this because it ain't happening. It's a pipe dream for me. So I'm not going to devote too much energy to RJ Barrett.
We'll see if anything on RJ Barrett pops up again.
Yeah.
It's pretty specious. There's a little bit there. By the way, interesting point here from the 916. I was talking about how did Halliburton last till 12th? Hallie was in a COVID year, wasn't the typical scouting. That's a great point.
Ooh,
but
okay.
Still, that's a wonderful point. But still going into it, I think the Kings had to be stunned when Halliburton was there. When
what was that, 2021?
20, I think.
Was it 20?
No, 21. You're right.
Yeah, 20? 21? I would love to look at.
Or was it 20?
It was 20, right?
Yeah, it was 20 because, yes, you're right. It was Ant-Man draft.
Was it 20? Damn. Was Halliburton? No, Halliburton wasn't a rookie when I came. I came in 2020. No, you're right. 2020.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. The Indy Star did a redraft.
By the way, Drapes, before you finish that point, speaking of Indy, Pacers did not have a first-round pick in that draft. They have 3 guys from the first round in the rotation currently from that draft. Halliburton, Nesmith, and Obi Toppin. They did not have a first round.
They did not have a first rounder. So they made some trades. Okay. The redraft, Anthony Edwards.
Mm-hmm.
This is according to Indy Star. Tyrese Halliburton, Tyrese Maxey, Desmond Bain, Jay's guy LaMelo Ball, Denny Avdia, Jaden McDaniels, Nesmith. That actually was a pretty good draft.
Yes.
Just wasn't, they didn't get the order.
McDaniels went 28th. Desmond Bain went 30th.
They just didn't get it right at the top. But there's Peyton Pritchard, your boy. Vassell, Okongwu, Quickly, Toppin, Isaiah Joe. I take Isaiah Joe right now. They got, beef stew. That's actually a pretty good draft right there. All right.
Real quick here, because I mentioned the 49ers. You know, Drapes went away last week because he wanted to celebrate the Brock Purdy contract.
Oh, yeah, what we got?
Yeah. Well, this is relating to the discussion we always have about Brock Purdy. Congratulations, by the way, on the tush push approved. Although things, I don't know if you heard, things apparently got heated in the meeting.
I heard that. 49ers tripping. Really? Let our owner, let Howie Roseman do his thing up there.
We just stand on it. We stood on it. Man, you ain't no need for you to talk 2 hours.
We smacked y'all up.
How much more ass are you going to talk? Yeah. Pro Football Focus, NFL analytics site. They released their rankings for all 32 quarterbacks.
Oh, let's get into that.
Here's what they said. This is John Costco, Pro Football Focus. Purdy may be a product of the system and surrounding talent, but he still led one of the NFL's most efficient offenses over the past 3 seasons. His play dipped slightly in 2024 as the 49ers battled injuries, yet he still posted the league's top success rate over the past 2 years, alongside a 7th best 90 Pro Football Focus grade. So this is Pro Football Focus, unbiased.
The Bible. Whatever they say, I go with.
I wouldn't say that, but it's unbiased. It's just numbers. Here's our top 10.
Let's hear their tiers, if you will.
1, Mahomes.
Any argument with that? You cool with that?
I'm okay with that, yeah.
Okay.
2, Burrow.
Got to put the tiers on it, though.
Well, they just did the 10.
Now, there's tiers to it, though, right?
Yeah, the link Jay sent. Pro Football Focus quarterback ranking.
Yeah, they give you tiers.
You're on NBC
like
Sports.
What the tier means.
I got the tiers. Let me run through this, Whitey. Let me run through this.
Okay.
Tiers. Tier 1. Elite. They call these guys elite. Pat Mahomes. Joe Burrow at number 2. I know Jay got an issue with that.
Jay didn't like it.
List already off.
Lamar Jackson, 3. Josh Allen, 4.
Okay.
I think we can universally agree those are the top 4 quarterbacks, though. Maybe some other order, Jay.
Sure.
Don't you? I would say top 4.
No,
Burrow's
not a top. All right. Hey. Tier 2, Whitey. High-end starters. These are Super Bowl champion caliber quarterbacks. Jalen Hurts at number 5. Jalen Hurts. Over the past 3 seasons, his 91.5 overall grade ranks 5th among all quarterbacks. Number 6, Jaden Daniels. These are high-end starters. Is that a little too much love early on for Jaden Daniels?
Only because for these other guys, it's like, 3-4 years?
Yeah, this guy, 1 year.
But he's phenomenal, but yeah, it might be a little high because of that.
Matthew Stafford at number 7. Kind of high, or are you okay with that?
It looks like they put a lot of value in just whether your team wins or not.
He said what keeps him in the upper tier is his complete command of the Rams offense. You know, when Stafford is locked in, he's as good as anyone in football.
Yep.
Okay. Number 8, Justin Herbert. You guys think Herbert's a little overrated?
I think he's very skilled. I guess they don't put that much stock in winning if he's 8th.
In standard game situations outside of late game or high pressure moments, Herbert owns the 2nd highest passing grade in the league, Whitey.
Those other 2 things are very important.
He's a real nice guy.
Right. Here you go. His 91 overall grade over the past 3 seasons ranked 6th. And when excluding playoff performances, his passing grade actually tops Patrick Mahomes.
It's outside the playoffs.
Right, outside the playoffs.
Can't win one of those, though.
Wow. All right. So that's the top 8.
Mm-hmm.
Brock Purdy got to be coming up, right? Got to be coming up next.
Number 9, Brock Purdy.
Tier 3A, solid starters who have flashed high-end play. Number 9, Jared Goff. Number 10, my guy, Geno Smith.
That's a problem, right?
That's a
problem.
That's a problem. What are you talking? This Pro Football Focus, White.
That's a problem.
Jay, this Pro Football Focus. What's
Geno
wrong?
Smith is the 10th best quarterback in the league.
Pro Football Folly, PFF.
In fact, his 85.8 passing grade in that span over the past 2 seasons is just 0.2 points shy of Patrick Mahomes.
I guess I'm not like you, Drapes. I'm not a big numbers guy. I go by the eye test.
Maybe. Well, go ahead. Continue.
No, I'm thinking maybe I should tease.
So that's top 10 then,
That's
right?
top 10. Can I tell you after the timeout where Brock Purdy checks in?
Okay.
Sure. How about that?
Yeah,
How about
we will
that?
do that. Also look at any free agent fits for the Kings in this summer's class when we're right back. Sacktown Sports.
Summer's here, and you can now get almost anything you need delivered with Uber Eats. What do we mean by almost? You can't get a well-groomed lawn delivered, but you can get chicken parmesan delivered. Sunshine? No. Some wine? Yes. Get almost anything delivered with Uber Eats. Order now. Alcohol in select markets. See app for details.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime. We're not here to be the biggest. We're here to bring you something we believe is better. Our plans start at just $20. You'll get the same fast nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com/facts. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
You could think you found your dream home online, but here's the twist. The lot next door just got rezoned for years of construction. Work with the expertise and ethical training of a Realtor, here to guide and help protect you from the surprises you didn't see coming. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors, right by you.
Hi, Sacramento. It's the No Surprise Guys at Bell Brothers Plumbing and Air Conditioning. Is your AC on the fritz? Call Bell Brothers. Looking to replace your old unit with a 0% financing and no payments for 12 months on approved credit? Call Bell Brothers. We're fast, reliable, and respect your time by showing up when we say we will. The price we quote is the price you pay. We are the No Surprise Guys. Call today to get a free estimate on a new HVAC system, or simply schedule your $87 AC Precision tune-up to keep your system running smoothly. With more technicians, more trucks, and more experience, we get the job done right the first time. No surprises. Our technicians are all background checked, drug tested, and will leave the work area cleaner than they found it. Don't wait. Call Bell Brothers today or book online at nosurpriseguys.com. That's nosurpriseguys.com.
What's going on? I'm talking to Chad Hoblet of Hoblet Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. Chad, tell me what's happening for Chrysler's Employee Pricing Plus event.
There's been a lot of talk lately about electric vehicles, and this has to be one of my favorites. And right now, don't just get the employee pricing, get Employee Pricing Plus with a little extra Hoblet discount when you save up to $10,000 off MSRP on new 2025 Jeep Wrangler Rubicon 4xEs. These Jeeps are so much fun to drive and save you a bundle at the pump.
Yeah, save money. They look pretty nice, too.
Those Jeeps have been hugely popular, and everyone I've talked to loves them. Plus, you get to experience our award-winning customer service. And remember to check out the new Hoblet Certified Pre-Owned Supercenter with nearly 200 vehicles available and over 50 under $20,000. Whatever you're looking for, Hoblet has it.
Search, select, and save through their whole inventory at HobletDodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet, period.
10,000 total net savings after 2,500 factor rebates and 7,500 dealer discounts, including employee pricing for all. Rebates may include 500 first responder bonus cash for eligible first responders. VIN number 24461 and 24463. See dealer for details.
When you're young, life is full of choices. Don't let opioids like highly addictive and deadly fentanyl take away your life with just one wrong pill. Addiction is a disease that can affect anyone at any age. But there is a choice to get help for this disease. Find medically proven treatment options, including virtual, at choosemat.org.
Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Here's Frank LaRosa.
With so many ways to warm up before golf, a group of university researchers tried to cut through the clutter. 24 low handicap players were split into groups. The first group was instructed to hit 9 shots in a row with 4 different clubs at set targets. The second group also hit 36 shots, but in a random order. Maybe 1 shot with a driver, 1 with a 7-iron, another with a wedge, and so on. Then all the golfers from both groups hit 9 test shots that simulated the kind of shots they'd hit on the course. Results found that the group who practiced with randomized shots performed better than the first group. Well, that's one study, but it's probably important to note that rather than hit a bunch of shots with 3 clubs, you might be better off hitting different clubs to different distances. You'll have practice shots to different targets with different clubs, presumably just like you'll do on the golf course. Give it a try. What do you have to lose except a few shots on your scorecard? That's your Golf to Go. I'm Frank LaRosa.
The Memorial Day Race to Savings is on. Get the best deals of the season at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Looking to own or lease? During the Memorial Day Race to Savings, drive a brand new Accord or Civic. Visit us today at FolsomLakeHonda.com, your one-stop Honda shop.
As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
KHD HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
Your home for Kings basketball for over 25 seasons.
Hammer time thrown down by the Lakeland.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Sacktown Sports, 1140. Live and local, it's the Drive Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sacktown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sacktown Sports app.
Going to look at the NBA free agent market, see if there's any fits for the Kings. But before we get to that, we've just been looking at a list here from PFF, which we thought stood for Pro Football Focus. It clearly stands for Pathetic Football Foolishness.
Pro Football Focus.
Pro Football
the brightest
Focus.
minds in all of football. They know they watch all the games. They study the tape. They got the numbers.
They have their top quarterbacks. They list all 32 quarterbacks, and Drape's just shared with us the top 10. Brock Purdy not in the top 10.
Yeah, not in the top 10. Mahomes, Burrow, Lamar, Josh Allen, my boy Jalen Hurts, Jaden Daniels, Stafford, Herbert, Jared Goff, Geno Smith.
What?
Yeah, Geno Smith of the Raiders.
Mm-hmm.
This is Tier 3A, solid starters who have flashed high-end play. Checking in at number 11 overall, Brock Purdy.
There you go.
Purdy may be a product of the system and surrounding talent, but he still led one of the NFL's most efficient offenses over the past 3 seasons. His play dipped slightly in 2024 as the Niners battled injuries across the offensive line and receiving core, yet he still posted the league's top success rate over the past 2 years, alongside a 7th best 90.0 PFF grade.
Mm-hmm. He should be higher, but that's pretty good.
That's solid. I've always maintained Brock Purdy is a top 11. He's like number 11.
You haven't always maintained.
No, 11 to 15. I could argue Jordan Love, Baker Mayfield, CJ Stroud. Here's the thing about this list, though. And I was thinking this earlier when Jay sent the text. Outside of the top 4, and I know Jay has his issues with Joe Burrow, but outside of, I think the top 4 are cemented. After that, I think it's very fluid.
Mm-hmm.
I think even my boy Jalen Hurts, we go back 2 seasons ago, he dipped. Like, I don't think any of these quarterbacks have cemented themselves firmly in the top 10.
How many? I don't know the answer. I just thought of this. I know it's not hard to figure out. How many Super Bowl wins have these top 10 or 11? Doesn't matter.
Wins?
How many Super Bowl wins have they combined for?
So you got Mahomes with what? 3. My boy Hurts has 1.
Mm-hmm. Stafford
won.
Mm-hmm.
That's it in the top 10.
Yeah.
Where'd the other ones coming from?
Well, it's been a changing of the guard.
Yeah.
Good point.
A lot of it.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
That's why if you really look at the list, and the next tier is what did they titled the next tier, Drapes?
Solid starters, but they need more help.
And that was Jordan Love,
Mayfield, CJ Stroud, Kyler Murray, Trevor Lawrence, Dak Prescott, and Tua.
See, like if you really pay attention, and this to me, this is why Jaden Daniels is high, and I believe why Justin Herbert continues to get, put in that top 10, top 5, depending on who you ask, is the Aaron Rodgers, the Tom Brady's, the Drew Breeses, the Peyton Mannings, all those guys have transitioned out.
Yep.
And so now we're seeing a new flux of the Penix Juniors, the Burrows kind of taking over, Justin Herbert again. And it's interesting because now some of these quarterbacks are going to have to start to prove it, or we're going to start to see some of these youngsters be pushed to the wayside already quick.
Yeah. And I know that it's about winning Super Bowls, but there are a handful of those guys that we mentioned. They haven't won a Super Bowl yet, but they've been there.
Yeah.
Right. They've been there, and Brock Purdy has been there. I look at this list, though, and I'm honest. I think Patrick Mahomes, I hate to say it, he's proven to be very beatable now. So he doesn't have a stranglehold on Super Bowls. Remember, there was talk he might be like Jordan in the 90s. If it wasn't for Jordan, all these people. I don't think of Patrick Mahomes that way right now. So going forward, whether it's Burrow, Josh Allen, Lamar, Brock Purdy, the Patrick Mahomes can't be used as an excuse anymore. He has proven to be beatable.
Yeah. See, I am always reluctant to talk about any quarterback that way. And obviously Tom Brady, people go, well, hello. Right. But there's so much more going on, when your team doesn't even have the ball.
Yeah.
Michael Jordan obviously had a lot more impact at all times when he was on the floor than a quarterback does. Quarterbacks get way too much credit, way too much blame.
Right. As a quarterback, you could put up 30 and your team give up 35 and it's not enough. But you did all you can do.
Right. Buffalo, Josh Allen.
Allen.
He ain't the reason the Bills lost to the Chiefs.
That's true.
Right.
That's true. But for some reason, quarterbacks are judged by Super Bowls, wins when it matters. And I look at those guys. Josh Allen got to get over the hump. He got to beat Pat Mahomes one of these days. Joe Burrow, the injuries and everything like that, that's in the past.
Funny thing is, Joe Burrow didn't have any problem beating Patrick Mahomes.
Right, he did that.
It was after
Can't
that.
beat anybody else after that, right?
Yeah.
And so I look at Brock Purdy, and there's no shade, Whitey. There's no hate. No, it's you got the big contract. You got paid. You are in the same category as, to me, all these other quarterbacks. Now you got to go out there and win it.
Yeah.
You got to go out there and win it.
With all the focus on Brock Purdy's new contract, I think the biggest questions for the 49ers are the new refreshed defense. Can the players that they brought in to fill the holes that were created when they let people go, can those guys actually deliver? And then the other thing is, you look at Ayuk, McCaffrey. Okay, we're assuming they're fine. I know Ayuk is still recovering. But let's say McCaffrey's just like, he's just not the same guy. Then that has a huge,
that's massive.
Yeah, we'll see, know?
Right.
Because he's got a lot of miles on him.
That's the thing. And that's why, when you do have a chance at a Super Bowl, you got to strike. Because especially at his position, he's about to be 29. And I know that's not old in real life, but a running back
age.
It's like, can he bounce back to what he was 2 years ago when he finished top 5 in the MVP? That's going to be key, I think.
By the way, your boy Jay, very excited, seriously, about the NFL players coming to flag football in the Olympics.
Really? It's flag football, Jay.
It's the Olympics.
If they don't win it, all right. Who's that? Javier? Who said that one time? Pause.
Kyle, press pause.
I don't know. That was Javier or somebody else.
Because I'm not panicked, Kyle.
All right, Jay, I see how it is. But, dude, if we don't win the gold medal,
right?
We like.
Oh, well, that's a walk away.
I know,
that's
right? These games going to be blowouts.
But that isn't this. Why this? Okay, let me put it this way to you, Drapes. Are we complaining that in 1992 in Barcelona, the Dream Team blew everybody out?
No.
So why are we complaining that if the NFL players play, they're going to blow Indonesia out?
Because, Jay, you just said it earlier. The Pro Bowl flag football, you're not watching. But you'll watch us beat up on Angola and some of these other countries?
Of course, because this is the Olympics now.
But this ain't the best of the best.
I understand. But what I'm saying is, for one time, I'm not saying in 32 and 36 we need to be seeing NFL players. No, I'm saying for one time, what's wrong with letting Justin Jefferson and Micah Parsons and Brock Purdy and Lamar Jackson and these guys go out one time, show their prowess, do what they need to do, blow out America Samoa and move on. Just one time.
I'm hoping there are a lot of NFL players that play for other countries too. That might make
they
it
will.
More,
yeah, they will. But they're still going to blow them out.
Yeah. How about the best of the best in NBA free agency? Any fits for the Kings? We'll look at that when we come right back to Sacktown Sports.
Staples presents That Was Easy.
So I was taking my side hustle full time.
Bold move, my friend.
And I needed to find everything in one stop.
Like finding Bigfoot riding a unicorn.
Yes, so I hit the Staples Easy button. Staples had everything for a new office and print services for signs and brochures. Plus, Cindy, the Staples associate, helped me find the best tech for me.
Wait, no drama?
No, Staples made it easy.
For the products, services, and experts your business needs, Staples.
That was easy.
In-store, online, and on the app.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Are you a victim of the timeshare trap and think there's no way out? I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, the original timeshare cancellation expert. And I'm here to tell you that there is a way out. All you need to do is give my office a call. I will send you a timeshare exit information kit absolutely free, explaining how the timeshare industry works and your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free info kit. 800-902-5454. 800-902-5454.
The following is a test of the emergency alert system. This is only a test.
This Memorial Day, don't just make plans, drive them. With Toyota's Summer Starts Here sales event, the road's calling for you, your playlist, and your new ride. Right now, get a low-cost lease on a 2025 RAV4, or shop the industry's best lineup of hybrid SUVs, like the Grand Highlander Hybrid, Land Cruiser, or the Toyota Crown Signia. Toyota's got the ride to match your summer vibe. Hurry into Toyota's Summer Starts Here sales event today. Toyota, let's go places. Offer available through TFS to buyers with premium rated credit. Offers end 6/2/25.
Some people want me to be heads or tails. I say no way, try again.
The only station in Sacramento giving you local sports coverage from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. Sacktown Sports.
Kyle Draper is back. Jay is back. I'm back. None of us were here Friday, Drapes. Yeah, we had
that's what I heard.
Jose holding it down.
Oh, Jose did the show. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Appreciate the boss man stepping in.
Thursday was my birthday, and Jay brought me ice cream. How about that?
Probably some of that leftover Leatherby's I had a year ago.
It was Leatherby's, but it
was it really
chocolate chip cookie dough, and it was amazing.
Dude, I'm having ice cream tonight now that you're
boy.
I'm getting me some ice cream tonight. I ain't sharing with nobody. Get that.
Man, that's bad on the Draper, the young Drapers.
Dude, them dads. So my kids, real quick, they have ice cream all the time. They love ice cream. That's their thing. They had it Sunday. So then we got some in the freezer. Then they wanted again Monday.
Of course they do. They're kids.
And I've said, all right, you could choose Monday or Tuesday. You can't have 3 days in a row. Can't do ice cream 3 days in a row. My daughter, this will tell you all you need to know about her, said, okay, I'll have mine tonight. Mm-hmm. She can't save money or nothing. My son said, all right, I'll wait till Tuesday. So what's going to happen tonight when Nick pulls out the vat of ice cream and starts scooping?
Oh, everybody's getting
right. My daughter's going to be looking like a dog looking for a treat, salivating out there and everything.
She'll find her way to get some ice cream, right?
Nah, bro. I wield a heavy fist here. I lay down the law, Whitey.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't get no ice cream. I'm going to eat it right in front of her, too.
You not. Stop pretending.
Any fits here for the Kings? What do the Kings have to work with? They have the mid-level exception?
15. What's this? Free agents?
Yeah.
Yeah, mid-level.
NBA free agent rankings. Just if there's anybody here that might be a fit, let me know. This is from ESPN. Tier 1 all-stars with options unlikely to move. We'll just go through them quickly. Yeah, LeBron, Harden, Kyrie, Julius Randle, Fred VanVleet. Tier 2, proven starter in his prime. Miles Turner, unrestricted free agent. Tier 3, starter caliber RFAs, restricted free agents. Josh Giddey, Quentin Grimes, Jonathan Kuminga. Keon Ellis is on the list.
Ooh. I thought he had a team option. All right.
Yeah, I think you're right.
That's why it says restricted.
They can avoid that happening, right?
Yeah, they can avoid that. Like, they could pick up another year
Kings
of his
hold
contract.
a $2.3 million team option for Ellis, but might want to decline it. So he'll be a restricted free agent rather than unrestricted in 2026. But you're right.
Yeah. All right.
So they're assuming there. Aging starters, Dorian Finney-Smith, Brooke Lopez, Chris Paul, Al Horford. Now we're Tier 5, top reserves and fringe starters. We might find some value here, right, Drapes?
Yeah.
Number 15, Ty Jerome. He shot 30% from the field and 4 of 16 on threes against the Pacers. Malik Beasley. Naz Reid, player option. Karis LeVert. Well, I like Karis LeVert. 6'6", good defender, can score. Gary Trent Jr., Santi Aldama, Nickeil Alexander-Walker.
Yeah, we would like him. I think most of us are big on him.
This says here, a screaming value on a 2-year, $9 million deal signed as a restricted free agent 2 years ago. He's in line for a big raise.
Yeah, that's the thing. And what do we have? 14. So that would be a 4-year, 14, 28, $56 million deal, something like that. I do it. I like that player. I like him.
Yeah. This says he isn't quite good enough as a distributor to serve as a full-time point guard. He has slumped beyond the arc in the playoffs. Well, this was written before last night. Should be more than double his previous salary. Yes. That's a guy who fits a number of needs for me.
Dude, is he a guard, though? And where do we play him? Do we have too many guards as is?
Yeah.
Malik,
but he's a good perimeter defender.
Keon, whose minutes he's taking? Devin Carter.
I'm not sure about Malik's future here.
Ooh. You're saying something. What you talking about, Whitey?
Well,
what do you
this
mean?
is my opinion. I'm not suggesting anything. But if I bring in Nickeil Alexander-Walker and I have a logjam at guards, I have too many of my guards that are good offensively and don't give me enough at the other end. So somebody has to go. Maybe it's Tamar. Somebody has to go, in my opinion. Especially if I want to bring in somebody like Nickeil Alexander-Walker.
Would you rather have him over Malik?
Yeah, I would.
Okay. All right.
And it's funny. We talk about RJ Barrett. A lot of fans say, well, I don't know. And a lot of fans say they like him. I don't imagine too many fans would be out on Nickeil Alexander-Walker.
I don't think so. He's just a solid, good player. He's not going to be an all-star or anything like that, but we know one thing about him, even if the offense, he's a good defender, really good defender.
He's a fine third guard, defending lead ball handler, shooting 38% from three.
Yep.
He helps me.
He helps you, yeah. Okay. He's the first guy on that list where I'm like, okay, somebody said Naz Reid, Campio. We can't afford Naz Reid. Naz Reid going to get paid this offseason, Whitey. Our little $14 million a year or whatever it is ain't going to get it done.
Yeah. Let's see. Timberwolves, he's got a $15 million player option. So he can just pick up the option if he doesn't get more than that. So that prices the Kings out. Karis LeVert, Gary Trent Jr. I mentioned. Chris Boucher, Tim Hardaway Jr. You like him. And then I know you like Schroeder, Dennis Schroeder.
Yeah, I like Dennis. As a stopgap. Remember, as a 1 or 2 year rental, if you will. He's a guy that can help run a team a little bit. Competitor, a little bit of a dog in him. Just a veteran that sort of settles things down. I wouldn't be opposed to that.
Any discussion of Schroeder and his fit here brings up a key question. He was a poor fit for the Warriors' motion-based offense. Is he a poor fit for the offense the Kings have? Who knows? What is it?
I don't even know the offense.
We don't know.
We got new coaching staff. I don't know how much we're running through Domas anymore.
Right.
Especially if you keeping DeMar and Zach.
Yes.
I think we're done with the motion offense unless some moves are made. Unless you trade DeMar or somebody like that. I think we're done with that.
I've always been a Schroeder guy from the day he was drafted. But when we first talked about him, I said no because I didn't think he fit the offense here. But I don't know if he does or not. Right. I don't know what it is.
Right. Exactly.
Tyus Jones. Yeah. He's the last guy of the 25 players listed. He's last. He put up numbers, but he just didn't help them much.
Yeah, he didn't. So what you're telling me is this free agent class sucks. Like we're not going to get help that much.
I don't think so. And you might have to, I think Danny LaRue or somebody in The Athletic was saying the Kings might have to either bring back the free agents they have or try to sign somebody. And the free agents they have are, like Trey Lyles.
Yeah.
And then you got the whole Keon thing. Keon, you got to figure it out, right?
Yeah, you got to figure it out. I think you just ideally just pick up his option and keep you don't have to re-sign him to a big contract or anything like that, right?
If you pick up his option, you could then extend him.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, 100%. You could do that. And so to me, Keon, now I'm saying this, Keon would not stand in the way of a big trade or anything. Like, I don't think anybody is untouchable on our team. With that being said, Keon at that contract is so valuable that you would hate to give him up.
Right.
Because he's the Brock Purdy of the NBA.
I don't know if he's accurate.
All right, he's not good, but he's outplayed to perform this contract.
Yes.
Is what I feel. And so those are the kind of guys you want to hang on to. Don't forget about our boy Jake LaRavia too.
Right.
Is he in our plans? If we get a Nickeil Alexander-Walker or some of these other guys we're talking about.
How do I keep Jake LaRavia? I got to get him to take less up front, right?
Yeah.
Less now with some kind of promise that'll make it worth your while.
Right. Yeah, a wink, wink, nod. And I wonder if his injury situation cost him some money. Because he sort of was off the radar, off the grid. Like when he first got here, he was looking amazing. I wonder if teams may be forgetting a little bit about Jake LaRavia.
It was a stunt,
because how come he's not on that list, Whitey? Top 25 guys.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
It was his thumb, right? He ended up breaking his thumb.
Yeah. Yeah. And we missed him greatly. Just his energy off the bench. He's one of those guys, too, glue guys that if I'm the Kings, I try to re-sign.
Yes.
Guy that doesn't need the ball, can fit into any system, is a gamer defensively. He's a guy I'm trying to re-sign.
If that is my choice, if it's either keep my free agents, which is what we say, LaRavia and Keon and maybe Trey Lyles, or go out and sign a free agent, I think I want to keep the guys I have. Just because of looking what's there, unless I can get Nickeil Alexander-Walker.
Yeah. So we're in agreement. He's the guy out of all those that probably, because he's still young too.
Yeah.
We're talking about youth here. He's still young and a two-way player.
So you're totally out on Ty Jerome? See, I like Ty Jerome, but I know he just didn't play well. And also, he's not a great defender.
Right. I'm out on Ty Jerome. Is he, and would you view him as our starting point guard, or is
I think if you brought him, that would be what.
Yeah. I don't know if is there enough upside? Like, can he make a leap, or is he what he is right now?
I think and I like him. It's a fair question as to whether he can elevate the guys around him or he is elevated by the guys around him.
Right. That's what I'm wondering.
It'd be a little risky.
Yeah.
Unless I get a bargain, which I don't know that I could. We'll see. Maybe his value is such
that
it crashed to the point, caved to the point where, I might be too good to pass up. Conversation continues with the Drive Guys next on Sacktown Sports.
Carmichael Dave here for my good friends at American Energy. As a native Sacramentan, I can tell you, not that you need to know, that it might be nice right now, but turn the corner and oh my God, it's so hot. Yeah, summer is coming. And my friends at American Energy want to make sure you are dialed with your AC unit. So how about this half off tune-up right now? It's a special going on, just $24.50 to get your air conditioner tuned up. A free diagnostic. And oh, by the way, if you need a new AC unit, up to $3,500 in rebates on qualifying system installations. That's right. They've been serving the greater Sacramento area since 1981. A+ with the Better Business Bureau. Give them a call, 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990. Here's the song.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Attention! If you owe money to the IRS, this is an urgent message. The IRS is cracking down by sending out collection letters, garnishing paychecks, seizing bank accounts, and putting liens on homes and businesses. They call it enforced compliance, and you better watch out because penalties and interest on unpaid taxes compound daily, making it even harder to get out of debt. Don't let tax debt destroy your life. You need to call Optima Tax Relief, America's #1 tax resolution firm. They're experts in taxpayer assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, Optima's resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. Let them fight on your behalf, helping to put your tax problems to rest. Call the tax professionals at Optima now for a free consultation.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Progressive knows when you own a boat or RV, it's like you're automatically on vacation, even if you're actually a marriage counselor in the middle of couples therapy. But in your mind, you're camping in Acadia, puttering around Frenchman Bay. Your boat and RV are both protected. You're lobster drenched in butter and... Uh-oh, did your clients just notice you weren't listening? Quick, do the thing where you just repeat back exactly what they said, but as a question. They bought it. Now back to Maine, earning an automatic discount bundling your boat or RV with your home or auto. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Still getting around to that fix on your car? You got this. On eBay, you'll find millions of parts guaranteed to fit. Doesn't matter if it's a major engine repair or your first time swapping your windshield wipers. eBay has that part you need, ready to click perfectly into place for changes big and small. Loud or quiet. Find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. But you already know that. eBay. Things, people, love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
If you're 55 and up, T-Mobile has plans built just for you. 2 lines of unlimited for just $30 a line. That's a 45% savings compared to Verizon and AT&T. But don't just take our word for it.
It's not just the savings that are great with our T-Mobile plan. There's all this value from all these other things that T-Mobile offers. T-Mobile has been such a savings for us.
We love it. Switch today and get 2 free 5G phones like the Motorola Edge with Turbo Power charging that gives you power for the day in just 15 minutes. And customers 55 and up can get 2 lines of talk, text, and data for only $30 a line. Go to T-Mobile.com/55 to learn more. With 24 monthly bill credits and 2 new lines with autopay for well-qualified customers, plus taxes, fees, and $35 per line connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Contact us, plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. 45% off 2 lines versus AT&T Starter and Verizon Welcome. Plan benefits vary. See details at T-Mobile.com. Motorola Edge requires 68-watt charger. Charger sold separately. Actual performance will vary based on usage and configuration.
Send in your skeletons. Sing as their bones come marching in.
The only station in Sacramento giving you local sports coverage from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. Sacktown Sports.
Hey, something interesting happened related to preseason football, if you could believe that. Drive Guys, we were talking earlier about preseason football. Not really very exciting. Jamar Chase meeting with the media today at Bengals OTAs. He was saying, and he was taking on the role of a reporter asking questions. He was asking questions of the reporters. And he was basically making the point that Cincinnati traditionally starts slowly because they don't play their starters in the preseason. And he was making the case.
Really?
We need to play our guys in the preseason.
Really?
How about that? You
Okay.
think a guy like him, like, I don't want to.
Veteran like
I don't
that,
want to play
yeah.
in the preseason.
You know what that goes to show me, Whitey? He understands the sense of urgency.
Mm-hmm.
Enough is excuses. It's their time to win.
Right.
Compete. Like, come on now. They can't come up short again. Re-sign both wide receivers. Joe Burrow's healthy. Gotta get it done now.
Who has a greater sense of urgency in this game we're watching? Pacers and the Knicks. You'd think, well, it has to be the Knicks, but the home teams in this series have been playing like they have more pressure on them.
Yeah, it seems like that, right? You know, it's I do think Pacers will win this one. They're coming out fired up by 7 right now. Pascal Siakam just hit a 3, and I do think the Pacers are the better team. With that being said, and I don't want to get too much into this, But I can't be the only one that every time Tyrese does something, I'm like, damn. You heard what Sham said today. I sent it to you and Jay on the Pat McAfee show. He said, Indiana is becoming a destination. Who would have ever thought Indiana?
Right.
That's the Tyrese Halliburton effect.
Right.
So we need to find who's our guy that's attracting other stars, other players. That's why Pascal Siakam didn't want to play here.
I know.
We didn't have anybody. So whoever we get, whether it's draft, big trade, whatever, hopefully we eventually find a guy that people want to play with.
Let's be honest. It's possible that even if you find a guy who's somewhat like that, there's a good chance that he won't have as much of that as Tyrese Halliburton has.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Tyrese is a special cat. Yeah. I mean, fans flock to him. Players, look how hard they're playing out there and everything. And Rick Carlisle is perfect marriage between those two. So, yeah, even if you find a guy, it might not be that.
Mm-hmm. Is there any way, and I think we've talked about this, but is there any way in which the Kings should have gone ahead and traded for Siakam even though he didn't want to come here?
No. I don't think so. Because
you just would have been asking for trouble.
Right. You would have had to give it up a lot.
You'd just been throwing away assets.
Exactly. And here's the thing. It's not like De'Aaron Fox and Sabonis were new players in the league. Their reputations are known. Siakam knew what he would potentially be getting into. And so it was too risky of a proposition.
I agree. It was so close. It was really close to happening.
Yeah. The trade was there.
Mm-hmm.
But Pascal said, nope, I'd rather play with Tyrese Halliburton.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. Indiana, more of a destination than Sacramento.
One of the keys to the NBA playoffs. This is important to keep in mind here as we look at the Kings and what they need. This is from Zach Cram. What do you make of this, Drapes?
Yeah.
This is a little X and O-y, but still, I think it's one of the things that we overlook when we're just watching basketball. Ball pressure. Pressure on the basketball. Who engages it? Where it is initiated? When teams decide to change it? Is the hidden story of the 2025 conference finals. He goes on to say, by itself, ball pressure doesn't show up on the scoreboard or in the box score, but it affects every possession, alters offensive strategies, and swings games. Kings need to have better perimeter defense so they can put more pressure on the basketball. I've said it before. I'll say it again. Putting pressure on the basketball, it's like a pass rush in football. If you don't have one, it's tough to do much defensively.
Yeah, and what I'm noticing during the playoffs, too, is there's levels to it. One thing to pressure regular season, you're seeing these teams ratchet it up even more in the postseason. They can go to a higher level.
Right.
But you look at Minnesota, Indiana, OKC, hell, even the Knicks to an extent. They have the ability to pressure the ball. But here's the thing, Whitey. I don't think it's because I'm watching Ben Shepherd, solid player, good young player. He doesn't have a reputation as a dog, but their style, their system. I think what you're seeing from Indiana is they're being coached up to play this way.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think all 9 guys, 10 guys that's in the region.
Steal as you're talking, yeah.
I think Rick Carlisle demands that, and I think that's where Doug Christie is trying to get to. He's trying to, like, Malik Monk has the ability to get after it. To me, ball pressure isn't necessarily a skill. It's a desire, a want.
Mm-hmm. And it's a buy-in.
And it's a buy-in. Right. They got the buy-in. And that was one of our issues as a team, as an organization. De'Aaron Fox has the capability of doing that.
Mm-hmm.
But we didn't see it on the regular.
So sometimes.
Sometimes.
You're
but
right. Yeah.
Like the Pacers, OKC, Minnesota, we're seeing it day in and day out. And so we need to get not only the players to do that, yes, but even if we don't, the guys that we do have to buy in. The Zachs, the DeMars. Like, can they do that? Can they deliver that?
Yeah. Remember when Coach Christie first took over, the Kings went on that winning streak, and there were a couple of those wins that were at least in part fueled by the Kings trapping people at the end of games and putting pressure on the ball.
Why did we go away from that, Whitey?
I don't know.
I need to find that out. I got to ask Doug that because, and I don't know if teams started to prepare for it or something like that.
Surprise, and then teams like, okay.
Yeah, exactly. That could have happened. Could it have been players are like, dude, what are we doing? Like, I don't know. But to your point, that seemed to work. I look at a team like OKC, watching them, Pacers. They play like rabid dogs out there.
They do.
And that's a culture.
Yes. They said that they decided that was the way they were going to play. And it's kind of like I remember doing this with youth teams. Like, we're going to be in better shape than the other team.
Yeah.
It was amazing the dividends that would pay at the end of games.
Right.
But that's what they're doing at the NBA level.
Exactly. And I would say this too. When it comes to the Kings going forward, if we try to play that way, Doug has to hold the players accountable.
It's hard to do with some of the
veterans on the team. It's hard to do, right? But if you're trying to change the culture, you need buy-in from everybody, especially the veterans.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I watch in OKC or in Indiana, I see Tyrese, I see Shea, I see J-Dub, Jalen Williams out there creating havoc. Can we get that from our veterans? That's going to be tough.
Mm-hmm.
That's tough, man.
Yeah.
That's tough.
And then depending on who the veterans are going to be, doesn't it seem like Domas is probably going to be here based on, reading the tea leaves?
Yeah.
Looks like Domas is probably going to be here and Zach's going to be here. And as we said earlier, it looks like DeMar DeRozan's probably the one that's most likely moving. If any of the big salary players are moving, he'd be the one. I know his contract isn't as big as the other two, but it sure looks like he'd be the one who'd be leaving.
Who are you saying, DeMar?
DeMar DeRozan.
Yeah. Yeah. That's all everything we're hearing, the smoke. Like, I'm not hearing a whole lot regarding the other guys.
Right.
But I'll say this, though, too. We're like, well, can our veterans do that? Pascal Siakam wasn't known as a lockdown, getting your face. Pascal is getting after it defensively now.
Mm-hmm.
So our guys going to have to swallow their pride, break a sweat out there and get after it. I don't care if you're 35 or 45. If that's what it takes to win a basketball game. And I think a lot of times what happens, Whitey, with veteran players and some, not even veteran players, other players too, they feel like their best way to help the team is scoring. Well, I got my 25, I got 30, I did my job. In today's NBA, you got to be both ends of the floor.
Yeah.
Because if not, how many times have we seen guys get picked on out there?
Oh, yeah.
We can't have two. Right.
That's NBA basketball now.
Right. That's NBA basketball. And so if you're a liability out there, you ain't going to win a lot of games.
Yeah. Obviously, a lot of it is turnovers, get transition, get easy baskets. Other than that, in the half court, you try to keep the other team from getting the shot they want. When you have the ball, you find their weakest link and you go right at it.
You go right at it.
That's the NBA now.
And our issue has been at times we have too many weak links on the floor at the same time.
Mm-hmm. It's interesting when you want to make your team better offensively. You need more shooting or somebody who's a creator, whatever. Defensively, it's not always just as simple as, well, let's get another defender and bring in a good defender. Because it's more about the attitude and the strategies and the buy-in.
Right.
At
right.
that end.
It really is. It's not about the skills and do you have that? Like it's are you playing hard? Are you doing? I'm looking at Tony Bradley. I didn't even know who Tony. He's out here playing minutes in the Eastern Conference Finals, getting after it. Ben Shepherd, T.J. McConnell. Like, come on, man. That's a culture that they have, and that's where the Kings got to get to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they've achieved it. Every team at every level talks about the importance of playing hard. We want to play hard, but very few teams actually do it for 48 minutes. They do it.
Yes. That's the guy right there that just scored the bucket. Benedict Mathurin.
He hasn't been great for them. He might be available.
That's what I'm saying. He might, because I don't think they'll move off of your boy Nimhard.
Yeah,
I don't think so. But and I don't know
Shepherd
what they
might
want.
be available too.
Shepherd might be available. I don't know what's his ceiling. Like, can he go from good role player to starter? I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I think Mathurin can go from a role player to a very good starter.
Right. He's one of those guys that maybe there's a lot more there.
Yeah.
We can get him. Maybe we get real value.
Yep.
I like it, GM Drapes.
Ah, thank you.
Like it better than Barrett, but
Don't get me started. You just poking me now. You messing with me now.
You know who's going to mess with you next is Jay.
Oh, we got
ready?
that?
Are you ready for the Whitey's Wayback Machine?
We back, yes.
Yeah. It's back. Drapes is back. Wayback Machine back for May 27th next on Sacktown Sports.
Stay up to date on Sacramento sports. Join the Sacktown Sports 1140 newsletter. Visit sacktownsports.com.
Progressive knows if you have to choose between everyday life and your RV wins.
What, are you going to take the RV to the lake or clean out your closet?
RV wins!
Putting the dishes away or taking the RV camping?
RV wins!
Cleaning the fridge or taking a trip to the beach?
RV wins!
You might want to clean the fridge real quick because, mold.
We clean out the fridge, then take the RV out.
With Progressive, you can bundle your RV with your home or auto and save with a discount and spend more time enjoying those savings in your RV. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states and situations.
Now more than ever, Lowe's knows you don't just want a low price, you want the lowest price. And with our lowest price guarantee, you can count on us for competitive prices on all your home improvement projects. If you find a qualifying lower price somewhere else on the same item, we'll match it. Lowe's, we help, you save. Price match applies the same item, current price at qualifying retailers. Exclusions and terms apply. Learn how we'll match price at lowes.com/lowest price guarantee.
Finally, an easy way to find home improvement contractors. Just visit subcontractorsunited.com and simplify your search for home services professionals. From cabinets to windows, roofing to plumbing, Subcontractors United is an easy, simple way to find and hire a home improvement contractor. And you never have to give up personal information. So no harassing phone calls like you get from those other websites. Subcontractorsunited.com is sponsored by D&D Cabinets and Savage Design.
People are coming from all over to Sacramento Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, from Folsom, Elk Grove, Woodland, Roseville, because they've seen for themselves the huge selection and the best prices at SacSuperstore.com. Good luck finding a lower price anywhere else. And if you do, they'll match it. It's as simple as that. Sacramento Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, where a handshake still means something. Open until 10 o'clock and essentially located right across from Hagen Oaks Golf Course. And online at SacSuperstore.com. The guaranteed lowest price and the best selection of Dodge, Chrysler, Jeeps, and Rams. SacSuperstore.com.
Hey, it's Mike Rohn. If I have a choice, I like to do business with companies that actually stand for something. That's why I switched from Verizon to Pure Talk. No offense to Verizon, I'm sure they stand for something. I just don't know what it is. Pure Talk, on the other hand, is a veteran-owned company that supports our military in a big way, and I appreciate that. Yeah, I also appreciate unlimited talk and text and plenty of data for half the cost of the big guys, and I do like being on America's most dependable 5G network for just $20 a month. But what I really appreciate is no contract, no cancellation fees, and Pure Talk's commitment to handle all their customer service in this country. I saw it for myself. I went to Georgia, I got a tour of their headquarters, I met their CEO, and I talked to the same customer service folks that you'll talk to when you dial pound 250 and say keyword micro. Switch today and save 50% off your first month when you dial pound 250 and say keyword micro. Pure Talk, a wireless company that actually stands for something.
Come check out Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room with the most variety of table games in the region in a safe and friendly environment. Plenty of well-lit parking available, conveniently located in downtown Sacramento. And remember, Capital Casino has the best food, the best service, and the best action. 411 North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento. For more information, log on to capital-casino.com, and please gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Your afternoon home for Kings talk and so much more. The Drive Guys on Sacktown Sports.
Getting ready for the return of Whitey's Wayback Machine quiz. It's brought to you by Lee's Air Heating and Plumbing with Kyle Draper back in the building. Getting ready for the playoffs, Drapes. We've had a lot going on in the tournament. Ramsey has been on fire lately.
Really?
Ramsey has played well in the tournament. A guy who's been kind of off the radar a little bit, but he's got just a glittering resume is Kyle Ledbetter.
No,
he's
Ledbetter,
lurking as well.
Yeah, it's he's one of those guys that knows useless facts. His sports takes aren't that good, but he's a wealth of knowledge of I'm like, dude, why do you know stuff like that?
Retains all
right,
those
he
things,
does.
right?
He does.
Yes. All right. Well, good luck to you taking on Jay today.
Oh, okay.
Jay, I believe you're the champion, right?
Nah, I don't know about that.
Yeah, when it comes to me and him, but
No.
Ramsey actually snuck one out on me last week. He's the lineal champ right now. But
Ramsey beat you off.
yeah, he got me on. Man, it was Ricky Henderson hit something. It was a Padres and the Mariners. I couldn't remember which one it was.
Okay.
I won Padres.
That's right. That's right.
I'll let Jay go first.
I don't know. Ain't no letting me. I'm the champ when it come here. The original here.
All right. Brought to you by Lee's Air Heating and Plumbing. Jay, here are your choices to begin. This day, what year NBA? This day, what year in baseball? 1982, 1985, 1986, and 1987. So real 80s feel today.
All right.
This day, what year NBA? This day, what year baseball? 82, 85, 86, 87.
Let's go 1985.
1985
George Brett
is a closest to.
I go first. I'm going first.
I'm going first today. Let Drapes go first.
Oh, dang. I thought I got you.
Drapes, this day, 1985. Game 1 of the NBA Finals.
Yes.
Boston scores a record. How many points? A finals record. How many points in taking Game 1 of the Finals from the Lakers? Lakers would come back and win the series.
I do believe that was the Memorial Day Massacre.
I believe you're correct.
One.
He's right so far.
Hold up.
1985. Boston took Game 1 from Lakers, scoring an NBA Finals record. How many points?
143.
143. We'll see if Jay can get closer. Jay, this date, 1985, Boston with a record. How many points in taking Game 1 of the Finals from the Lakers? Drapes is 143. What do you say, Jay?
It's still the record to this day?
Yes, sir.
I remember.
That's tough.
143. I'm going to go 144.
148 points.
Oh, I knew it.
you was close.
114.
I kind of knew that.
Close.
I was going,
Yeah.
I should have said that. That was my first guess, too.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
that
a lot
says
of
a lot.
points.
I was like, that's a lot, man.
Yeah. Jay has a point. He held serve. Over to you, Kyle Draper. This date, what year NBA? This date, what year in baseball? 1982, 1986, 1987.
NBA.
NBA. This date, what year? Julius Irving. You get to hear
My
it.
guy,
You can go first. You
yeah.
can go first. Julius Irving of the Sixers becomes the first player to have been named MVP in both the ABA and the NBA.
I'll let Jay go first.
Jay, what year did that happen? This date. Julius Irving becomes the first player to have been named MVP in both the ABA and the NBA. Jay has the
I'm
one
going to
to
say
nothing
1970. Oh, man.
Jay with the 1-0.
I go a little too. I think it's 1978.
1978.
Oh,
Kyle Draper.
Thought I hit the nail.
That's a really good guess, Jay. That is a really, really good guess.
To state what year Julius Irving becomes the first player to have been named MVP in both the ABA and the NBA.
Damn, Jay, that's a good
Jay
guess.
says
I
1978.
hit it on the.
Drape's trying to get closer. Jay with the 1-0 lead.
77.
1981.
Ooh,
I knew it.
1981.
Who was 77? Bill Walton?
Go Walton, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Damn.
2-0
Jay's killing
Jay.
me. I'm rusty. I'm rusty, ladies and gentlemen. I'm rusty.
You mean you weren't studying sports
Not
trivia when you were
golf.
everything but.
All right, Jay. You're up with a 2-0 lead. This date, what year in baseball? 1982, 1986, 1987.
Let's go 1987.
1987. Multiple
Cecil
choice.
Fielder.
Who becomes just the third pitcher ever to make 700 career starts on this date in 1987? Phil Niekro, Tom Seaver, Nolan Ryan.
Man, you threw two of them, I thought.
If you want to go Cecil Fielder?
Go for it. Is that final answer?
I was actually leaning towards Mickey Tindleton. Dang.
Dang, Jay, that's a
Keith Elton was my catcher when I threw out the first pitch one time.
Oh,
really?
boy.
Okay, all right.
Oh, did he scoop it or did he block it?
He scooped it, and then I went to pick up the ball, and he goes, "That's not your ball. There was 2 balls." I goes, "This is yours." And held it to me with a big skid mark on it. Thanks, Mick. 1987,
87.
Jay, who becomes just the 3rd pitcher ever to make 700 career starts. Phil Niekro, Tom Seaver, Nolan Ryan. Jay with a 2-0 lead. Drapes is rattled early.
I think I'm going to go Tom Seaver.
Tom Seaver is not correct. Drapes,
question again, please.
This date, 1987, who becomes just the 3rd pitcher ever to make 700 career starts? Phil Niekro, Nolan Ryan.
Nolan Ryan.
That is not correct.
What? Phil Niekro?
Phil Niekro. Yes.
He was still pitching then, huh?
Yeah, he pitched a long time.
Damn.
I figured Nolan Ryan was the throw in, and that was too easy.
That's what I thought, too.
Yeah, and the other 2 were Cy Young and Don Sutton.
Don Sutton.
Yeah.
Nolan Ryan did get it, though, right? Eventually?
I don't know if he made 700.
Because he pitched forever, too, right?
Yeah.
I saw something today, real quick, fellas, real quick, and I don't have the exact number. Cy Young made 900 and some starts.
Damn.
And he threw almost 800 or complete games.
Yeah, right.
Get out of here.
Something crazy.
Really?
Yeah, I'm going to have to find that.
I
Yeah, that
think
was
a
bananas.
baseball for some that was like an old sock. And it's like, you couldn't hit it. You could square it
Yeah,
up and it
just-
might be a line drive to short.
Yeah, Nolan Ryan, 773 starts.
773.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yes. All right. It is
Jay's
2-0, but no points scored there. So, Drapes, you dodged one and you're up. This day, what year in baseball? 1982, 1986. You're down 2.
86,
3 points left
baby.
on the board. Multiple choice.
Patrick Ewing.
This date, 1986.
Ooh, I like that.
After a game is postponed due to heavy fog, Boston's Oil Can Boyd says,
Dennis Oil Can.
"What do you expect when they build a ballpark on the ocean?" Where was the game played? Oakland, Seattle, Cleveland. This date, 1986. A game is postponed due to heavy fog. Boston's Oil Can Boyd says, "What do you expect when they build a ballpark on the ocean?" Where was the game played? Oakland, Seattle, Cleveland. You're right. Dennis Oil Can Boyd.
Seattle.
Seattle's not correct.
That's not right. He was in the dome, baby.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Jay,
I forgot the
if
Kingdom.
you steal this one, Jay, you win it.
Jay got it.
It was Cleveland.
Cleveland is correct.
Yeah.
Did he really say that?
Yeah, it was Cleveland.
That's why I ruled Cleveland out. I'm like, what is he talking about? Ocean.
Yeah.
Dennis Oil Can Boy.
Congratulations, Jay, with the sweep today.
Damn, Jay,
Gonna
you
win.
killed me, man. I'm
We'll welcome you back with open
rusty,
arms, sir.
dude. Right. I missed 2 basketball questions.
In the post game, I think you'd have to point out you just were not ready to.
I wasn't ready. I was.
My mind is still somewhere else.
Exhibition.
I've been
season
there, man.
drills.
I've been there.
Yeah. Damn.
What else you got, Whitey? Give me the other 2.
There's a hockey one.
Ooh, give me that one.
This date, 1982. New owners bought what NHL team? They bought what team and announced they would be moving to New Jersey. What team was it? The California Golden Seals, the Colorado Rockies, or the Quebec Nordiques?
Quebec Nordiques.
Yeah, Quebec.
No, it was they were called the Colorado Rockies.
Really?
Hockey team.
A hockey team?
Yes.
I don't remember that.
I never heard that one.
Yeah. And then finally, this day, what year in baseball? Oh, you love this, Jay. I know you love your Giants.
Here you go.
Brandon Crawford, it's a grand slam in his first major league game to help the Giants beat Milwaukee 5-4.
I don't know.
This day, what year?
I lost the point on purpose. I would say this is his first year.
This is
first
his
home run?
first game, and he hits a
First
grand
game?
slam.
I think it would have been 2012.
What do you think, Drapes?
Crawford been around for a
Did
minute.
he get all 3 championships? If so, it's 2010 then.
2011.
2011 is right. 2011 is right.
Yeah,
I get that one.
Yeah.
When it doesn't matter.
I was
Pressure's
gonna say,
off.
I knew he didn't get the first championship, but yeah.
Yeah. Brandon Crawford.
Yep. There you go. Congratulations, Jay.
Nice work, Jay.
What do we got here score-wise?
I think the Knicks on a little mini run right here, and we got a good game going here. Pacers tied up with the Knicks 51-51. Knicks just went on a run, though, to tie it up.
Yeah. Jay likes those Knicks, you know. He
Does he
likes
really?
that.
Big body Brunson?
Yeah.
The only way they don't win is Tibbs runs them into the ground. Bless you.
Tibbs is using his bench tonight, though. I see.
Who's that? DeLon Wright?
Yeah,
Shamet?
DeLon Wright Shamet
There you
getting
go.
some minutes. Yeah.
We're back with you tomorrow. Welcome back, Drapes.
Thanks.
Yeah. Stick around. We got JR Sports Brief Show coming up next for you on Infinity Radio Network right here on Sacktown Sports. Talk to you tomorrow. Have a good night.
Summer's here, and you can now get almost anything you need delivered with Uber Eats. What do we mean by almost? You can't get a well-groomed lawn delivered, but you can get